Hey, Cowboys Nation. Welcome back to Keeping Up with the Joneses. My name is Rika, and I'm a barely functioning adult. Tonight on the show, from the Cowboy Zone, the Bluff City Cowboy, Marcus D. Jones. And as always, the apple of my eye, the reason I regret my life choices, Mr. Charley Moffat. Hey, Charley. Ha ha ha.
Glad to be here tonight.
Yes.
I always hate when I have to miss.
If you haven't already, hey, do us a favor. Hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time we go live with a mediocre show. And we'll do a little business before we get to the thing. Listen, guys, twistedgorilla.com has the best t-shirts online. They've got funny t-shirts, they've got sarcastic t-shirts, but most importantly, y'all, they've got Cowboys t-shirts. So head to twistedgorilla.com and save 15% at checkout when you use coupon code RIKA15. Stay tuned later in the show. We're going to tell you how you can win some merch at Twisted Gorilla for free. All right, guys, what are we doing tonight?
Got a lot of people in and out. Guess we can talk about it. A lot of moving parts on this 53.
Absolutely.
I see we got Tavis Banks in the building. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Tavis.
It says we have 3 people watching right now and it's still going up. So guys, if you're there, get in the comments, let us know that you're there. Even if you just say hi, leave questions, comments, whatever. We just like to interact and acknowledge people.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Now Tavis is the guy. If you guys want to know anything about drafting, he's one of the guys you guys need to definitely follow.
Absolutely.
I've been slacking this year. I've been so busy. I haven't watched a lot of games. So I definitely got to catch up with Tavis myself just to keep track of what we look like. I don't think it's going to be a good draft, but that's a conversation for later in the season.
I seen you post in the war room today asking opinions from the draft gurus. That's why I didn't comment.
Yeah, I'm just not.
I'm not a draft guru, so I haven't even looked at the draft yet. So,
Hey, Todd Corey, thanks for coming in. Yeah, I was thinking about the draft a little bit today and thinking about this Tyron Smith thing. This ankle has got us. It's affecting the entire line. And if you guys think for a minute that I'm not going to be talking about this injury in March, you are crazy. I am going to be beating the drums. I didn't get Rashawn Slater last year, and this year I'm going to be banging the table. I don't normally stand hard on the hill for somebody, but this year I am going to find myself an offensive lineman, and I'm not going to move off of it.
What's up, Jack Meeker? Thank you for joining. A question,
hey,
right?
Jack.
Since you brought that up. So, what do you think about Josh Ball? Because I keep asking the same question, and nobody really gives me an answer about it.
Josh Ball is a hard one for me because I felt like without the personal issues, Josh Ball would have been an early round pick.
Day 2 guy.
However, we all know that what you see in college is not necessarily what you're going to see in the NFL.
Yep.
And because we haven't seen him at all, I don't know what to expect. And I don't know why they're not. I mean, maybe they're using him a little bit in practice. There's some stuff going on that we're not seeing, but we're not. I don't know. He doesn't seem to be part of the conversation, though, right?
Not at all.
You know, they've got Collins, they've got Steele, they've got Inseki. He doesn't seem to be part of this conversation, and I would have thought if we were going to give him a shot maybe last week, we would have done that this week. We might see him, but I doubt it. We need this win.
You don't even hear his name in conversations anymore.
So I don't know what to say about that, and I don't know if there's something coming down the pipeline that's going to be another personal problem for him, or if he's just not working out, if his athleticism has not transferred into the NFL, because that happens to some players.
Well, he didn't have an off season. He was on the PUP list and didn't even get to work with the team until week 6,
something like that.
So
yeah,
he could just really be behind. I mean, it happened to McGovern his first year. Also,
yes.
Yeah,
so we may see more out of him next year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think it's just he's behind. I don't think it's a knock on him. I think it's just, I mean, he didn't have no training camp, no preseason games.
Yeah,
didn't get into a fucking practice till 6 weeks into the fucking season. So I mean, to think he's just going, you can throw him out there in an NFL game, even put him in a conversation. I think that's a far-fetched idea right now.
Yeah, we just didn't get him in the conversation when they spoke about after Smith went out, and they talked about, well, we're gonna maybe, move Steele down, or we're gonna have a competition. We're gonna see who works out best at left tackle. But you didn't hear Ball's name in any of that. You heard Inseki, you heard Steele, you had Collins. And I mean, there's that part of me that wants him to do well because he was drafted by the Cowboys, and then there's that part of me that wants Josh Ball to hit the road, because I feel like by cheering for him, I'm kind of betraying the sisterhood there. I mean, a drug crime is a drug crime, and an alcohol problem is an alcohol problem, but an assault on a woman, we gotta, you gotta stick together on that. So I've got some issues there.
Yeah. Oh, I made it well known when we drafted him what my thoughts on drafting him was. I wouldn't even drafting in 4th round. It'd been off my board. That's just me. I ain't gonna get into political shit right now, but take that out of it. As far as just a conversation with him, I think it's just, I don't think he's in a conversation. Even when he went down, Smith went down 2 weeks ago, I still think he'd only been on the roster for like 3 weeks. He only had 3 weeks of practice still. So, I mean, he's behind. I mean, he's behind Ty. No matter how you feel about Ty still played. He's played in NFL games. He started NFL games. Can still started NFL games. Collins started him. I mean, they got fucking background. He has no background. It's a small Marshall school that supposedly he should have been a first, second rounder, but got put in the 4th because of his off the field issues. So, I mean, but yeah, as bad as Steele looked last week, I would think if he had anything, they would have fucking at least put him in the rotation and trying to get him in there. So that just tells me he is just way, way, way the fuck behind. But I'm with Rika on the other shit. I ain't getting into it, but yeah, it's like one thing. He's a Cowboy, so I'm not going to say, hey, I hope he gets beat fucking and gets Dak sacked, because that sucks, because I love Dak. That's my man. So, I want him to do good, but at the same time, I'm like but
I want him to do well enough to keep my quarterback out of the dirt, but not well enough to solidify himself a place on this roster in the years moving forward.
Right.
Tommy Corey says, love when Tyron is on the field. Not sure how many games he has left, unfortunately. Me too. When Tyron Smith is healthy, nobody beats him. There's not a better left tackle.
Well, let's talk about that Tyron Smith issue.
Yeah.
Just a health thing.
This is the thing. They're saying it's bone spurs with a sprained ankle. Okay. I even looked up bone spurs again, because out of all my injuries I've ever had, and I've had a lot of them, bone spurs never was one of them. So I had but I was pretty sure I was right. And I'm right. Bone spurs do not go away. They don't disappear. Therapy, physical therapy can help them. You can put ice on it, swelling goes down. Therapy can help the pain, but they don't go away, which means eventually they're going to come back and hurt you again, which is why I will go back to what I said 2 weeks ago. If it is bone spurs, then fucking get rid of them. Have the fucking surgery. It's a simple surgery. I don't like to say that because I've had multiple ones. They said it was simple, and I was like, fuck that. You cut me open. That's not simple. But it's a simple surgery. Fucking remove the bone spurs. You're out 2 to 3 weeks, which he's been fucking out for 2 weeks now. Might be out for 3. So we would have ended this. That's what I don't understand. I can see the ankle sprain. Yes, you let that, but the bone spurs, they're not going to go away. There's so even when he feels better and the pain ain't there, after 2 or 3 games, that shit's going to start hurting again.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the end game with why they're treating it like this. I mean, they're going to be there for the rest of the year. He will have bone spurs for the rest of the year. So maybe the bone spurs ain't the problem. Maybe the sprained ankle is a problem. He can deal with the bone spur pain. He's just trying to deal with the sprained ankle. That's the only thing I can think of is they're trying to get the ankle right. And then once he gets the ankle right, he's telling them, hey, fuck it, I can deal with them bone spurs. Put me on some pain medicine. I'll get treatment every week. Get the swelling down, fucking get it comfortable for Sunday, and then boom, I'll do it again. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I got you, DeLunatic. Check your DMs. Sent you a link. And DeLunatic says no surgery. That's why I'm thinking the high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
Well, they said it's a high ankle. They said it's a sprain.
Tavis says the front office and doctors are playing with our season. I don't know. I'm not really sure how that works. I don't know if the healing time for the high ankle sprain could be further complicated by the bone spurs. I'm not sure.
I don't know
about
that either.
That.
All I know
That's
is if he has bone spurs and that's any of his
pain.
Need
to find a doctor.
That shit's going to still be there 6 weeks from now, playoff time. He would still have bone spurs. And there's a chance that but like I said, maybe it ain't. Maybe that's not his issue. Maybe it is bone spurs, but the pain he's dealing with right now and he can't, they got to take care of is the ankle sprain.
Let's Google it.
And then once that gets taken care of, they'll deal with the bone spurs. He can handle that pain.
I've had a high ankle sprain before as an offensive lineman, and I could play with it after a week. I mean, for somebody like him, probably more like 2. I mean, it's not like he's in a position where he's really using his ankle. So you just have to tape it up really good, really tight. Make sure you have enough tape off of it so you can use that plant foot or that guide foot, whichever ankle it is, and you just roll with it. Now, like you said, when you had the bone spurs in there, I don't know what that does, but
okay, so I Googled it, and so the bone spurs can cause wear and tear or pain. It can rub on the bones and the soft tissue in the body. So it may be that he's having some extended healing time on the ankle sprain due to the bone spurs. And that's why they keep mentioning the bone spurs. It's not that he can't play through the pain of the bone spurs. It's that the bone spurs are complicating the high ankle sprain and making it harder to heal. I don't know. That could be why they keep mentioning both.
I think both of them are really pain tolerance more than anything now.
Well, I know high ankle sprains a shitload of pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Because I've had 2 of them on the same ankle back to back. I came back to work too early because my boss was on my ass about getting back to work. So I was like, fuck it. I'll come back. And I got the doctor to release me. And 2 weeks later, that motherfucker twisted again.
Yeah.
And this time I was like, hey, I ain't coming back till I'm ready to come back. So I was off for 6 weeks.
And it depends on what the bone spurs are, because a high ankle sprain almost feels like a calf injury.
Yeah.
It's so high up on your leg.
Give him that shot. Yeah.
All right. So what we talking about tackles? This was a conversation that came up last week, and Charley and I kind of went against what everybody else said.
We usually
a lot of people were saying when it comes to the tackle position, moving Terrence Steele, letting Lyle get the right tackle spot back. And Charley and I were kind of against that, pretty much from what we saw. You don't move a guy who's playing well. You deal with Inseki, he's been there, and keep your best guy in his best spot. So after we saw what was listed as 11 pressures last week, how do you guys feel about Steele in a second week playing that left tackle position?
Well,
how's it going, Amanda?
What's up, Amanda? Makes me want to sing that song, Amanda, every time I say her name. And y'all really fucking don't want me to do that.
You really don't.
Yeah, you really don't. But yeah, it's not much. I don't like it, but I don't really overreact to it like some people do just because fucking ain't. I mean, it's not like Jerry Jones is listening to me on this show. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, you know what? Fucking Charlie fucking thinks that's no good idea. So let me go talk to McCarthy about it. But no, I don't like it. I'm hoping that another week of practice, maybe he'll improve, So I just think people just think switching. It's like everybody puts the offensive line as one fucking position.
Exactly.
Like you play right tackle. Oh, there's a left guard problem. Oh, well, fucking just move him over there.
Right. He's a good player.
He's great at right tackle. That means he should be able to play fucking left guard or left tackle. You're dropping with a different foot. You're punching first with a different hand. I mean, everything. And Marcus can speak on it better than me because I never played offensive line. I just studied it for my son, through YouTube videos. I ain't gonna lie, the coaching videos that they put out there, so I could try to teach my son shit. So I learned more about it in his high school years I ever knew about it. But it's a big fucking difference. I mean, it's not as simple as just moving the guy. Now there are guys like fucking Martin. I don't give a shit where you put him. He's gonna be fucking great. You can move him out left tackle, right tackle. Hell, he play center. Just move him anywhere.
Yeah.
But not everybody's built that way. You know what I'm saying? Still's not Martin.
Yeah.
I mean, Collins isn't Martin.
Right.
There's only one Martin, and there's only a few guys in the NFL that can do what he does.
Yeah.
Moving anywhere you want to move him. But yeah, it's a whole different. Hell, even Martin. That's why Martin don't even want to stay on the same side and move the tackle because how much difference it is. That's why he cries and says, "I don't want to move out there." Because he knows it's a whole different fucking ball game. One side to the other, one position, the next position, it's all different. And when you move one person to one position to a whole nother position on the other side, like everybody wanted to do with Collins, like that's just really, 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 really rare that happens.
Like
overall, that there's nothing I can do about it. But no, I don't like it. But hopefully, I'm praying to baby Jesus tonight that he got better and he's going to protect Dak a little better. Because 11 pressures, 10 pressures, whatever it was, 2 sacks. That's not good enough, man. That's just not fucking good enough.
Yeah, like for me personally, just my experience, when I play offensive line, I played every position over the few years I did play. I mean, junior high school, a little bit of college. I could not play left tackle because I'm left-handed, and it's something about my left hand being my power hand. It left me susceptible inside because I couldn't use my right hand when they give me an inside move or a swim. Yep. And I could do it, but it was hard for me to play right guard because it was hard for me to pull with my hand on the ground and come out of my stance and go left. It's just weird stuff like that because
it's a balance thing. That's like riding bulls. If you're right-handed, you don't ride a bull with your right hand. You use your right hand to come up to balance yourself to your left hand is what you want to.
That's a great analogy, Charlie.
Yeah, it's a balance thing. It's just like you don't. Everything's different. When I know most people are like, what the fuck you talking about bull riding for? I rode a bull once. I used to ride a mechanical bull all the time. Not good at it. I get drunk and go in the bar and say, hey, fucking mechanical bull, let me try this shit. Never worked out well for me, but hey, it was fun. But yeah, no, that's what I've always said. It's like riding a bull. You don't, if you're right-handed, you don't ride a bull with your right hand. You ride it with your left hand and you use your right arm to have balance. The same thing, if you're right-handed, it's hard to play a certain position because it's balance and your punch hand and your first step, your foot, you got to drop. And like you just said, I didn't even thought about that. Pulling to the left would be fucking weird. Pulling to the right might be natural to you. Yeah, it's all kinds of things.
Yeah, because I'm putting my weight on my left hand, so now I got to pick my weight up and then go left. But if I'm on the left-hand side and my weight is on my left side, I'm just pushing off. So it's a lot easier for me.
We're getting all detailed and breaking shit down. We're getting all like other fucking content creators. I've never done this. This is all fucking awesome.
But yeah, that balance thing is a great analogy because people don't think like you're used to doing something your whole life a certain way. And within a week, you're asking someone to do the complete opposite.
It's hard.
I don't care how elite level you are. That's hard to do in anything.
But like I said, Martin, it should show everybody how hard it is. Martin's staying on the same side, just moving position, and he doesn't want to do it.
Right.
You know, I mean, and he's all pro that knows he can do it, but he knows that the shit just, it's not just a natural thing. It's just, you don't just pop them out there like, fucking just roll with them. And then everybody should realize this, considering that every time Tyron Smith has gone down, we have fucking really struggled for pass protection. So it's not an easy thing. And Amanda said earlier, we need to find his replacement. We do. I've been saying that for a couple of years. That doesn't mean you bring him in and replace Tyron and cut Tyron next year, but we do need to, at some point, we're going to have to find, you know, maybe Steele will work out eventually. Maybe, you know, or like you numbnuts we was talking about earlier. Maybe that's the guy, and we just, you know, he just needs time, you know, because like I said, he didn't have really that much. That first year you're in the NFL, you don't get a lot of strength training in the NFL. You know, it's that second year where offensive linemen usually make that jump in strength, you know, because they technique. Because you know, you don't get drafted to April. That's when the fucking NFL players done been working out for 3 or 4 months, you know, and then you got to graduate before you come in and shit like that. So you don't get in here till the summer. So you really don't even get a strength program until summertime. So
right, you're mostly just working on agility in the off season, trying to get your combine scores up.
Charley, Rika, and Bluff high, like high. Are you trying to say hello? Or are you trying to say we are high? Because I am. I'm not high. I know you are most of the time.
I think as far. Hey, DJ Dog. Hey, Matto.
We got somebody famous in here, man.
Yeah,
I know.
Goddamn Cowboys Wire USA Today fucking writer in here.
I've given a lot of thought this week to Terrence Steele. And yeah, I mean, that performance last week certainly wasn't good enough. However, with that being said, you know, we heard, and to what you guys were saying just a few minutes ago, and we heard Mike McCarthy say it before the Broncos game that he quoted, don't remember the name of the coach, somebody he worked with in Green Bay, about for Steele, moving from right to left was going to be like a right-handed person trying to wipe their ass with their left hand. You know, it wasn't going to be good. It's going to be different. However, I do think that maybe there is a little part of Terrence Steele that is slightly ambidextrous. I don't think that a coach like Cliff Kingsbury would have kept him for 10 games at Tech as a left tackle if he didn't have the ability to do it. I think he just had to get used to doing it. So do I wish that maybe they would have left him at right, and then because he was so strong there, and then put Collins in, and then we only had one weak spot instead of the risk of Collins with all that time not playing, and now we've got two. Yeah, I do. But this is where we're at, and this is what it is, and I think that we'll see some improvement for Terrence Steele this week. I didn't have a lot of confidence in that kid when this season started. I had zero confidence. I was pissed at Terrence Steele on this 53-man roster, but he proved me wrong. I was glad he did. He did a great job at right tackle. And while I don't even think this week is going to be perfect at left tackle, I expect it to be significantly better than it was last week. Yeah. If it's not, then we're going to have to have some aluminum talk going on again.
I'm not saying.
But we've given him a very hard task. And I expect him to rise to that occasion.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons I didn't want to put him at left, because I mean, he got put through so much shit last year, and he wasn't ready, and he finally settled in somewhere. You know, you kind of like he settled in. It's like, just keep him there. Let him. I mean, he settled in at right tackle. I mean, he wasn't great, but he was good. He was good enough.
And you can see he worked on his technique. Yeah, right tackle.
Exactly. And I was like, I just think it was too much. Still think it's too much to just ask him to do it. But hey, anyways, Matt, who covers Pitts, Kirsten Diggs.
Matt jumping into it.
Yeah, Matt always does. That's why I like him.
Yeah.
First of all, if you don't know who Matt Owen is, follow him on Twitter at Professor O NFL.
Professor O, yeah.
Yeah.
It's underscoring us somewhere.
Put it in the chat, Matt. Tell them where they can find you.
And he writes an analytical piece every week for the games. Fucking awesome. Go check it out. Like I told people, if you're not in analytics, that's fine. Read it, educate yourself. If you are, then read it because you'll love it. It's good shit.
I'm not an analytics guy, but I always learn something when I read Matt's articles.
Yeah,
me too. Matt and Charley have gotten me really interested, and I've been spending a lot more time looking at analytical stuff and trying to learn a little bit.
Yeah, Matt's a lot more intelligent when it comes to analytics than I am. I mean, I think he actually scraps and everything. Like me, I just steal shit from runningbacks.matter.com. He actually does the goddamn shit. And, he even asked me that one time at Draft Mess, hey man, do you scrap? I'm like, dude, I don't fucking scrap shit. I steal. That's what the fuck I do. You get me in the coding shit, man, I'm lost. I don't even know what this shit that is. It looks like a fucking another language from another universe. But yeah, but Matt's good. So follow him. Fucking read his articles. Fucking he does good shit.
Yeah.
And Matt, don't forget, anytime you want on, tell us and we'll send you a text or direct message and come on for 15, 20 minutes. You're welcome anytime. You got to open an invite on here. Any of the shows on Dallas Cowboys Uncensored.
Absolutely. Speaking of open invites, here we go. Here's our guy tonight. The Lunatic.
Good Lord.
What's on, man?
Charley.
Marcus,
I did that
this
wrong.
is where we get to
Bluff,
go silent
Rika,
for 30 minutes.
And hello, Charley.
What would you say, Charlie?
I said this is where we get to go silent for 30 minutes.
Okay. We just say hello to Lunatic and then just
say hello and let him have the
floor.
You want the first 15 minutes in English or in Spanish, my man? Come on, we'll go bilingual up in this.
Yeah, we're going to have to go English.
How's it going, guys? How's it going? Great analysis here against Atlanta. Remember, good teams bounce back from bad losses.
Absolutely.
Hey, this is a question that's been going around Twitter. I ask all y'all. I think it's a little bit of a silly one, but maybe I'm wrong. Is this a must-win game?
It's going to be one home game in the next two of the next 5, I think, are home games. So this is an NFC game. I prefer NFC games. It's not a must-win, but hey, we stole one against Minnesota. Let's not give it back. I expected us to lose against Minnesota, beat Denver. Now we got to get up, as they say, ahead of the chains and take care of Atlanta at home, which is they don't have the same defense as Denver. They have weapons, but they're missing players. We need to take advantage.
Personally, I don't see Tampa losing more than one more game. So there's no way we're going to get the number 1 seed. We're 3 games up with 6 to go or 7 to go in our division.
Yep.
So I think we're good. Really. I think we're good in terms of getting a playoff spot. But if the goal is to get the number 1 seed, it's going to be really, really difficult. That's just me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so I don't think this one is a must win because I don't think we're getting to the 1 seed anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it's a must win. Even with the 1 seed, I mean, I think Tampa Bay. I haven't looked at their schedule. I might agree with you. They only lose one more game. I haven't looked at their schedule.
They play.
I will say this: even if you don't get the 1 seed, I still want to play for some kind of seeding because I like to have that fucking 2 to avoid whoever gets number 1. Because whoever gets number 1, they went through a pretty good gauntlet to get there.
Yeah.
And so I kind of want to get them the fuck out of the way and maybe hope somebody's going to, because I'm not one of them fuckers who says, well, I want to play the best to beat. Fuck that. I want the easiest path fucking I can get.
Yeah.
If I'm the fucking 1 seed, I want to play the 6th seed and the 5th seed to get to the Super Bowl. I don't want, or it might not be the 5th seed. That might be better teams, worse matchups and shit like that. So I'm not that guy. I want the good teams to lose. I want the good teams in the playoffs to lose their quarterback. That way they lose that game and then we don't have to worry about them anymore. That's how I am. I want the easiest path necessary. So I wouldn't mind playing for this 2 seed either, even though it's not a bye.
Yeah. Well, as the 94s did state, we don't want that 4th seed because just like we're ending with division games, so is the NFC West. They're going to beat up on each other, and the 5 seed will most likely be the runner-up from the NFC West.
Yeah, so right now it'd be the Rams.
Right now it'd be the Rams, correct. As a matter of fact, if the playoffs started today, the Falcons would be the 7th seed.
Yep.
We would be the 4, and the Falcons would be the 7th seed. Yep. So if we can move up, even better. And again, it goes all the way to Pop Warner. Win your home games.
Yeah.
Win your home games and then try to steal some of those away games. You'll be in a much better position.
I like what Matt Owen says about the 4 games in 18 days without Randy Gregory is a bit scary. I think we need that big win tomorrow just for some momentum, just to pull ourselves up from that loss last week.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of get some of that swagger back.
Yeah, I don't think it's a must win. I'm with Marcus. I mean, must win.
Not a must win like as far as like division or playoffs or anything like that. Just a must win for your ego, for your psyche.
Yeah, that's what I said today. It's not a must win for its X's and O's and chances of getting into playoffs and shit like that. If it's anything a must win, I'm not so sure. I'm even going to say the players. I think it's more for the fan psyche. I think that's why fans say it's a must win, because I don't think they could deal with another loss, because they didn't fucking deal with this last one very well. If we lost 2 in a row, these motherfuckers are going to lose their shit. I'm going to have to do a 30-minute video instead of fucking a 15-minute video, because it got out of hand last week, really, really, really bad. But
yeah, you're gonna have another one of those videos saying "Calm the fuck down, Cowboy Nation." Oh yeah, and sub it up, please.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it is. And Delunatic, Matt Owen calls you a national treasure.
Absolutely.
No. I get most of my stuff from Matty O. I plagiarize him like a mofo.
You steal his shit? Hey, so do I. Don't worry about it. I'll steal Matt's shit too.
So, Delunatic, real quick, while we have you on, let's do this thing. Hey guys, it's giveaway time. Delunatic has very generously donated 2 t-shirts from twistedgorilla.com. All you have to do to win is share a show. Share any show you want to from the Dallas Cowboys Uncensored channel. It can be this show, my show, an old show, a new show, a show where Charley drops F-bombs. It doesn't matter which one. Share it to social media. Tag me at Chains Moving on Twitter. Rika Moves the Chains on Facebook. Every time I get tagged, I'll write your name down, and you're entered to win on November 30th the t-shirt of your choice from twistedgorilla.com. Compliments of our guy Delunatic. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and anybody don't follow this guy, This is probably one of the better dudes out there.
Absolutely.
I mean, knowledgeable fan, but even past that, he's just a good dude donating shit like this.
Yeah, definitely.
He does it for my Cowboys family. He does it for them all the time. So follow that dude. He's a good guy on top of being knowledgeable.
I always tell Cowboys Nation, did we hear anything about Buffalo losing to goddamn Jacksonville? No. What did they talk about?
Wednesday, yeah.
No, what did they talk about? Cowboys. They know who runs the NFL. And the people that can give me the why and the how we're going to get over that, hey, when Marcus talks about special teams, I listen. Because guess what? It might be a late field goal that wins it.
Yeah. Yeah, Marcus is a special team. Yeah, he's a special team king. He's my hero when it comes to special teams.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard curse Marcus saying, hey, this guy is a special teams player, rivaling Goodwin. And that was like, whoa, hey. And look what happened. Look at what happened. All of a sudden, it just clicked. And we might have somebody who I'm thinking we need to resign in the offseason. One of our top 5.
Yeah, Marcus. I get Marcus and Matt Owen, because Matt Owen was on Marcus's show, and they was talking about Curse. That's the first time I knew who he was, but that's the first time I ever maybe I need to go look him up. So every time I talk about how great Curse is and how much I love him, I have to always preface that with I got to give Marcus and Matt Owen props on that, because they're the one that even turned me on to him to where I even looked at any film or paid attention to him because they was bragging on how good they thought he was. So props to y'all.
I appreciate that.
I'm making Matt Owens' head big tonight, boy. I'm just giving him all kinds of props.
Hey, he deserves it. He deserves it. Look up those articles. You will learn.
Matt knows I like him.
All right, guys, let's get back to the field. We got a lot of moving parts to talk about. Before we go to the defense, because Randy Gregory will start a whole other conversation, let's keep it on the offense for a little bit longer. It looks like we get Michael Gallup back this week. Yeah. And at the same time, it looks like Cedric Wilson might be out. So first, let's talk about Gallup. How many snaps do you think we see in this game? And what percentage of them do you think are inside compared to outside? Because if Wilson's not playing, and Wilson's been almost exclusively inside for us. So now you got Gallup coming back. Are you going to slide CeeDee Lamb back inside full time for this game, or are you going to put Gallup inside to play some slot duties for you?
You go, Rika. You haven't said too much.
It's a tough question because we really don't
That
know.
is a tough question. I'm gonna want to look at how Cooper's doing. He's obviously not on the injury report, but I do have concerns about his ankles this year. I think that we're probably gonna let Gallup come to the inside a little bit. We're gonna play Cooper a little bit less. I want to rest him up a little bit if we can, and Gallup back is gonna allow us to do that. I think they're gonna mix it up. I don't think they're gonna go back to Gallup strictly on the outside, Lamb strictly on the inside. I think Kellen Moore is going to keep it still. I think Kellen Moore is going to keep a lot of variety in there. I think we've got really smart guys that can memorize a big playbook, execute a big playbook. I don't think there's any reason to pigeonhole anyone while we know that Gallup is going to be our guy. You know, if it's close and inside of the 2 minutes and we've got to get it to the end zone, you know you're going to Gallup. But other than that, mix it up a little bit. Why not?
And somebody put this note up about with Professor Open up, talking about 11 personnel. Is Jarwin Jarwin's on our right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to be seeing a lot of 11 personnel based on this. So Gallup's going to be playing quite a bit.
Yeah, I think. Do you know anything? Go ahead, Bubba.
Well, that's the fact that Matty O bit me to the punch there, where 11 personnel was our bread and butter last year. But now we've got to help Steele out at left tackle, which is where I'm thinking he's going to start. McCarthy saying he's taking all the snaps in practice, so he's going to stay there for that word that he uses, continuity on the offensive line. So now we just need to get him some help. It's a rough thing, transition from right tackle to left tackle. But now with 11 personnel, well, unless your wide receiver goes across the motion and helps out, or your running back, Zeke or Pollard, do a little chip block on that defensive end. That's where I'm thinking, 11 was our bread and butter, but how much 12 personnel are we gonna run just because we need to protect Steele? And we saw it against Denver. We expected better, but didn't happen. So now are the coaches gonna err on the side of caution and say, hey, no matter what, even though that's our strength, let's help Steele and protect that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can see that happening. I'm with Matt on this. If they're going to start running more 12 and McKeon now that he's back in the mix, I don't know. I love 11 personnel. I mean, that's my fucking favorite personnel grouping. As far as Gallup goes, I think he's going to be on the outside more than inside. I know he worked on it during the offseason. You know, that was a big thing in the offseason.
Yeah.
That all three was going to rotate. That one was going to play the X, the Ys. I mean, they was all nobody was going to get pigeonholed. But since Gallup hasn't been there for since the first game, I think they'll make it more easier for him. The first game, I think they'll mostly keep him on the outside. I think we're going to see Lamb from the inside. And I'm sorry, Lamb in the slot. You can't go wrong with Lamb in the slot. I mean that dude, he kills it in the slot.
Like Tavis said, he's unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean he just.
Tavis brings up another good point. So last week, even though it was garbage time, and I would really consider that garbage time, Malik Turner stepped up. What do you have? 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, it was a 4. It was. If it wasn't 4 minutes, it was pretty damn close to 4 minutes. Yeah.
Now that's a whole nother discussion. We can have another day on why did they have Dak out there with 3 backup receivers. But just talking about Malik Turner in general, he's an inside-outside guy. He's giving you sparks on special teams. He's giving you sparks on your offense, as you saw last week. Do you think they may work him in more, as well as a Noah Brown who's played some slot as well? Do we think Gallup will be as dominant in snaps as some people expect him to be, in terms of 70% outside or something like that?
No, I can see that. I don't think he'll. I don't know what dominant. I haven't heard anybody talk about it. I haven't been on Twitter much this week, but I don't think he's going to I think they will ease him back into it. I don't think he'll just come out and play like Gallup, the old Gallup, and just fucking use them on however many snaps he usually gets. But I can see him sprinkling other guys. I could see that even if Gallup was here the whole 7-8 games. I mean, they rotate them guys fairly well.
Yeah.
You know, CD gets a pop here and there. Fucking so does fucking Coop. You know, he'll get a pop here and there. So yeah, I definitely think we'll see some other guys rotated in.
I don't know. I think that we'll see Gallup quite a bit. I don't think that they really need to ease him back in because it's not like he came off of IR last week. They started the clock on him 3 weeks ago. I mean, they waited till the last possible minute before bringing him back in. He's been in quite a few practices now. I don't know if it's going to be an ease back in or if they're just going to throw him out there, maybe somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because we expected him back against Minnesota after the bye.
Right.
Coaches were indicating, oh, he's going to come back. He's on track. Then Minnesota came and went. Denver came and went. So week 1, he was gone. Now it's week 9 of the regular season. So I think he's back for the last 2 weeks. He was close. It was just I guess they felt comfortable with Cedric Wilson, said, hey, we'll give you some more time. So I think he can come out and not only that, but surprise us with a bigger game than we think.
I expect him to have a big game, even with me thinking he'll be limited. And when I say limited snaps, I don't mean he's going to get 10, 11. I mean, he's going to get a large amount of snaps. I just don't think it's going to be a typical Gallup.
You don't think it's going to be like 80%? Like no.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a typical Gallup game. I don't think they're going to throw him in there. And another thing is, we might get a fucking lead, and a lot of people get a little bit of fucking breather, you know, or it might be one of them fucking tight games like we do all the time, and it's down to the damn nut crunching time.
Yeah, you never know.
No telling.
I don't need it to be as tight as that Atlanta game last year. That almost
Jesus
gave me
Christ,
a
I
stroke.
hope not. I rewatched that one other night.
No, but the good stat is we were leading the NFL at 7.1 yards on first down, averaging on first down. Even after the Denver bad game, that went down to 6.4. So we stayed ahead of the game. So if there's something you want to look at first down. How many yards are we getting? Because we still lead the NFL in lost yardage plays. So we're ahead of the chains. That's what Kellen Moore and his philosophy about taking it aggressively. I like that. Stay ahead of the chains. So first down, we were bad against Denver, and it showed. We kept going. But if we're being productive, like our offense is, even 6.4 yards on first down, we're ahead of the chains. Now we dictate the terms to defense. Now go ahead, see what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm all big about being aggressive on early downs. In fact, I wish we was more aggressive on our early downs.
Yeah, and just looking at this Falcons game, looking at how they play, I think this would be a good running back game. Not even just running the ball. I just think out of the backfield. Watching them the last 3 or 4 games, they rely heavily on their linebackers to cover like curl flats and 10-yard routes. They leave the edges pretty open when it comes to wheel routes and routes that come out of the backfield. So I think our running backs are going to have some. They're going to have some matchups they can take advantage of, chipping on the way to the flat, or just going straight into a route. So that should be very interesting to watch on first downs. And plus, the linebacker's only like 210. So let's just put the jumbo in there and run over them.
Yeah, right now when the game is within one score, we're passing the ball 54% of the time on first and second down, early downs, with a 7.9 yards per attempt and a 54% success rate. But we're running it pretty good too, at 5.1 and 53% success rate. So that's not bad either.
Running against that 23rd ranked Atlanta run defense, who's averaging 126 giving up 126 yards a game. Oh, I like that. And plus Zeke in his career games against Atlanta, he's averaged 105 yards.
Yeah.
So we can run on him. Get zoom and boom in there, baby. This is one of those where how do you fix your O-line problems? You run them. That's how you fix it.
Yeah, like Todd Corey said, also the screens. If our linemen can block their linebackers in open field, screens are going to be wide open this game. I watched Kamara eat them up just running little screen routes. they have no chance if those linebackers can get touched.
Atlanta's run game, efficiency wise, ain't that bad. It's
No,
average.
yeah.
It's average. Their six, not their run game, but their run defense is not bad. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not great. It's 16th in NFL at inefficiency. EPA is what I'm talking about. It's better than ours. Ours, we're 23rd against the run in efficiency. So it's not that bad, but but everybody fucking. I mean, I'll give you an example. There's only 2 teams in NFL that actually have a positive EPA against the run, meaning they not good against run, and that's fucking the Chargers and the Minnesota Vikings.
And
everybody else gives up negative EPA against the run. Everybody else does at least that.
Yeah.
So.
Those are the only 2 teams that keep their safeties 15 yards back no matter what.
Well, the Chargers never going to be efficient at run because they let teams run on them. That's their defensive philosophy. Their head coach believes in he wants if you want to take their 4 or 5 yard runs, he'll let you have them. He's not going to let you have big pass plays against them, but he'll let you run the ball on them all day. He doesn't care about the run.
Yep, long drives. He wants long drives against his defense.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's kind of how Denver's philosophy is too. But they actually did pretty good against us last week. But hell, they're 21st against the run efficiency wise. So yeah, them teams they're starting to reverse. Defense is starting to reverse, and the old head of we got to stop the run. We can't let them run. It's kind of going to the wayside, and people's like, well, you can run 4 or 5 yards on us, but we're not going to let you have the 15, 20 yard pass plays because that's what gets you downfield. And that's puts you in the end zone. So
you got a point you want to make, Rika?
Yeah. Tavis says Atlanta's going to run the ball. Be prepared. Yeah. Bucky Brooks had an article earlier this week, Tavis. He mentioned that he also felt like Atlanta was really going to run that ball on us due to our gap integrity issues. What do you guys think about that statement, and what do you guys think that we do to fix that?
Watching Atlanta play, I've watched like the last 4 or 5 of their games. I'm not too concerned about them running it. First of all, I love their offensive line. I'll put it that way. In terms of pass coverage. When I look at their line looks like they have 5 tackles out there, or 4 tackles at least. And when you say that, that means they're great athletic guys, but they're not downhill guys. Mike Davis isn't a really good zone runner, so I'm not concerned about him. The only way I would be concerned is if they keep Patterson back there for extended periods of time, because he has a great start and stop ability to stop on a dime and then get a field. I don't think they would do that with Patterson because they rely on him so much in the passing game. So I don't think he would be I don't think he would really be a factor in the running game. And I just don't see Mike Davis being that guy. They may try it, but I'm not too concerned about that. My real concern is generating that pass rush because their linemen are really underrated by the NFL in the pass coverage game.
Yeah, Matt Owens said their run game is awful, and he's right. They're 30th in the NFL in rush EPA. Like, the only teams worse than them is the fucking Miami Dolphins and the Houston Texans.
Yep, because they give up on it so easily. They'd rather have Matt Ryan take those 4 or 5 yard passes as extended run plays instead of actually running the ball.
And that's all Patterson.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some matchups. I know, I'm not taking anything away from Atlanta, but I know people are worried like who's going to match it with Patterson, who's going to match it with Pitts, and I'm like, is this a fucking 6-2 or 7-1 team that we're playing, or because it's like everybody's worried? I'm like, I don't know. I guess we're going to match up against them just like fucking the other 9 teams did or 8 teams did. I mean, everybody else has handled them. I mean, they've had some good games offensively and shit like that, but I wasn't worried about Denver either, and they fucking kicked the shit out of us. So, I mean, again, not probable, but possible. But they don't scare me that much. I don't know. Just something about them, they don't scare me. Not like, again, this game could be a 40-39 game again. Who knows? But I'm not too overly worried about it. about some of the matchups other people worried about.
Yeah.
I mean, they started 1-3. They went to 3-1, but I think that's because their defense got better, not because they necessarily made a whole lot of changes on offense. The teams they beat, the Giants, the Jets, the Dolphins, and then finally the Saints. They won that Saints game barely. They won that Dolphins game barely. They haven't had like a big, huge win. I don't remember the Jets score. The Giants, I think that was like they beat them 17-14, something like that. In that neighborhood.
I think the Jets may have scored 30 on them.
Yeah, I don't
I think
remember.
It was like 31-29, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, y'all keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Okay. They haven't. I don't think though that they've had like a real huge win. Lunatic, do you remember?
I just remember the New Orleans game. They almost blew an 18-point lead again.
Yeah.
Jets scored 20 on them.
I thought so.
Okay.
Yeah, 27-20.
Okay, so I mean, like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, that win against New Orleans definitely gave them some momentum, whereas, we're feeling a little low about that ass whipping we took last week, so we've got to flip that around. But
yeah,
well, my problem is that some of the same people who are worried about our matchups against them are the same people who think that we haven't proven anything and this is a big game and a prove it game. And I'm like, against a fucking team that hasn't proven anything yet either. I don't understand why. I'm not saying don't be worried. I'm just saying I don't understand why people are constantly worried about that against a team who also has not proven anything. I mean, we're 6-2. They're whatever they are. It's like people are acting like we're playing the fucking Rams or the Cardinals or the Bucks again or something. And again, I'm not saying games ain't easy. We learned that last week. But again, I just don't worry about some of the issues that other people worry about.
Is Dante Fowler back, Tavis? I know he practiced this week, but I believe he was limited in practice, and it was going to be the last thing I read was that it would be a decision over the weekend, but I hadn't checked on it today to see if they've made that announcement or if
there
it's
you go,
Matt
Owen.
Game time.
I think he is back.
Who's that? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What did you say?
Dante Fowler.
I think Dante Fowler is back.
I think I heard he was back too. Anyways, Falcons haven't been above 500 since 2019, Matt Owen. And everybody is treating this game. And again, I'm not saying we can't lose this game. So don't get me wrong. And if we lose, come back. Like, fucking Charley wasn't worried about it. Like I was a fucking reason we lost.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's just I don't get the angst people have with sometimes, like, man, how are we going to match up with? Like I said, same way other teams have, same way the teams that beat them have. I mean, it's just
we can't beat everybody 40-0. People are going to score.
Yeah, they're going. Yeah, I mean, the whole NFL is set up for offense. Everything is set up for offense, and it's mostly set up for passing offense. So, I mean, you're going to have some high scores. That's why I hear lately it's been some oddly low score games. Some like Dallas only scored 16. Fucking
Buffalo scored 6.
Raiders only scored 16. Fucking Buffalo only scored 6. Ravens only scored 10 on the night against Miami.
Yeah.
So there's been some weird games. But, that's another thing about the NFL. Weird shit happens. I mean, sometimes, like I've said always, everything is possible, but most of them ain't probable. It's not probable in Jacksonville. If Jags and Buffalo plays 10 times in a row, I promise you Jacksonville's not fucking holding them 6 points any other time. That's not going to happen again. It was just one of them days. It's just kind of like us, just one of them days. Just sometimes shit happens and it just doesn't work out for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the defensive side of the ball because that's pretty much all the stories we got on our offensive side, and we've already been talking a little bit of defense. So let's talk about Tristan Hill coming back. Somebody just put the question up. Jack Meeker, thank you for joining. He asked, will Hill play and will it be at the 1 or the 3?
He is active.
He's going to play. Yeah, he's going to play. He'll be there. Yeah, he's going to play. How much? I don't know.
And what position? I don't know either.
We're at, and Lunatic, step in here anytime you want. Without your face being up there, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I don't see his face. I just see the little dollar star, and I forget that he's here.
Yeah. So What do you guys think he's going to play at, 1 or 3?
I think the 3.
The 3.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus look like he disagrees.
No, I'm really trying to figure it out myself.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't agree with these guys. Let me tell them why.
I really don't know. I mean,
well, truth be told, I don't know either. That would be my guess, and it's a total guess. I don't know if he could handle. I'm not saying he couldn't handle the one. I'm not so sure he'd be. I think they're going to use him a lot like in passing situations. You know what I'm saying? Just I don't think he's going to get a lot of snaps. They'll let him out there on passing situations, and and hell, maybe from a passing situation he might play the one. It might be, a 3rd and 10 that they'll have him at 1 tech, out there on the 3rd and long. So that could be true. I just don't see him being out there on the 1 tech on any kind of short yardage situations to stop the run. You know what I'm saying?
Hamilton's got that.
Yeah. Big Ham, dude. God, that's her boy.
Yep. We talked about him all off season.
Me, you, Rika, fucking Lambo, and fucking Eric.
It was a small number.
I think that's probably the only ones in fucking Cowboy Nation. And fucking big on him, fucking since fucking the preseason started.
Yeah, he's really been coming through. He looked like he started to wear down a little bit in last week's game, though.
Well, yeah, I know he took a lot of shit for that fucking tackle on the outside, but he was trying. Like I told everybody, he was trying to hold him up and let other people hit him and strip the ball. Mm-hmm. He wasn't actually trying to strip the ball. He was just holding on to him and hoping somebody else was going to strip the ball. Because the whole time I'm yelling, just tackle the motherfucker. Jesus Christ, I love turnovers. I love the fact that they try to punch balls out. But when they're 10 yards down the field and they done push you another 7, just fucking get them on the ground. It's time to fucking give up on the turnover and just get them on the ground.
Yeah. So Matt O saying we'll see Osa at the 5 this week, Hill at the 3, Hamilton at the 1. I could definitely see that happening. That.
Did y'all watch any all 22? You or Matt Ghostin? I didn't think he played very well.
I didn't either.
Especially against the run. There was 2 run plays that he fucking totally just trashed it on setting edge. One of them, he jumped to the inside. Like I don't even know what the fuck he was doing. He tried to jump a gap, inside gap, and they just went right by him. And another time, he didn't try to jump the gap. He just literally got straight up manhandled. Yeah. And just couldn't get off the fucking block at all. But I didn't think he had a very good game. I'm not knocking him because that kid's impressed me overly. There ain't nobody in the game last Sunday that impressed me except Parsons.
Yeah.
And LVE, I thought he had a pretty decent game, pretty good game. Some of the people who broke down the film more than I do, they actually thought he did real good. Mm-hmm. I didn't think he did real good. I just thought he did good. But yeah, Parsons and Parsons. That's in LVE. I can't really. I mean, Osa didn't really look. You know me, I love Osa.
Right.
Osa really didn't impress me.
Osa wore down at the halftime too.
Yeah. Osa, I think, is going to need. He needs Gallimore back. I think he needs Gallimore. He needs to be rotated a little bit less, in my mind. Because you got to remember, these college kids, they only play fucking like 10, 11, 12. I mean, they're not, hell, right now they're about to, and normally they're getting in their last couple of games of the year in college, about to get into fucking the Big 10, 12 SEC championship games and shit like that, and fucking.
Also led the team in snaps last week on the defense in the front 7, in the defensive line.
Oh, did he really? I didn't even look at that. That's, wow. Well, they obviously like him.
Right.
I like him too.
But that's not good for
I absolutely
for your rookie.
Let me tell you, did you drop out and have to come back in, Bubba?
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. No, drop out.
Yeah, and you were saying about Golston because if Atlanta's going to try us early with the run because they saw Denver early in the game, gashes on the edges. So they're going to see exactly what we saw on film. Is that gap integrity there? If we take away that run, hopefully we're making those adjustments. Now, if they start running on us, that's when I think Dan Quinn has to go ahead and up the pressure on Ryan because we need to make him pass happy so that we can go ahead and get some pressure on him. He's not as mobile as he is. He's still mobile. He'll get out of the pocket. He'll move his feet just to reset and throw the ball. But if we have to deal with the running game plus Matt Ryan, that's where, when I talk to Dallas fans, that's when they're skittish. That's when they say, oh, it's one of those on any given Sundays.
what also was help if our offense looks better than they did last week and actually put points on the board.
Yeah.
That will also help our defense, not our defense, to help keep Matt Owen. Sorry, Matt. When I call him Matt Owen, Matt Ryan. Help keep Matt Ryan. I got Matt Owen on my mind tonight. That's sweet. But yeah, that helped the defense out too.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I heard this last week. It's like our off. I mean, I tell people this all the time about when they talk about winning time and possession. Our offense needs to run the ball to win time and possession. Usually, my first take is, as y'all know, is that's stupid as shit. Time and possession don't win games. Points wins games. So let's forget about time and possession. Winning games wins you time and possession. Time and possession does not win you games. It's the opposite how people think. The second thing is that I always tell people the offense isn't the only one that controls time and possession. Right. The defense does too. You know, if your offense goes 3 and out and then your defense goes out there and gives up an 8-play drive, well, yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, and if your offense gives up, say, an 8-play drive for 8 minutes, good offensive series, scores a touchdown, then your defense goes out there and gives up a 9-minute drive for a touchdown, well, your defense controls time and possession too. They got to get the fuck off the field too to help the offense out too. It kind of works both ways. Because everybody always assumes time of possession is won on the offensive side of the ball. Defense controls that time of possession also. If your defense can't get off the field, that hurts. But when your offense is constantly going 3 and out like we did last week,
yeah,
that gives your defense more chances to have long drives against them and shit like that. So they kind of work in unison. It's not always just, you know, one power play by the offense controlling the clock.
And that's where I've been trying to tell Dallas fans, our offense is part of our run defense. The fact that teams have to keep up with our scoring, which they didn't against Denver. Denver said, hey, we're up 16-0. We can pound the ball and we're getting 7 yards to carry. There's no need for us to change.
Yeah, that's why I've always said that's when teams run the ball. I can look it up real quick when we're talking about something else, but teams run the ball when they are ahead. So yeah. I mean, like, you know, that's when most teams start to run. That's like my anti one tech, big fat 360-pound one tech. We got to have one. It's like my argument is only time he's really on the field is when your team is losing, because if your team's losing, the other team is actually running the ball then a lot. So that's the only time he gets to showcase his skills is when your team is losing. Because if your team ain't losing, if it's close game or if your team's even worse, if your team's ahead, they're not running the ball. They're going to be passing the shit out of the ball, and the fucking big fat defensive one tech isn't going to be on the field any. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, no, the Looney takes right on that. Once they get that fucking 16-point lead, hell, there's no reason for them to pass the ball. Just try to, especially a conservative coach and conservative quarterback like we played last week. They're definitely going to run the ball. Some teams more aggressive, like Buffalo. They get a 16-point lead on you. They're still going to be whipping it around. You know, they're not going to just all of a sudden turn into a run first fucking offense. You're going to take them into the fourth quarter before they do that shit.
Right.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right.
No,
so
yeah, go ahead.
Line a little bit. Let's take it to the edges now, because we all got the news. Randy Gregory hurt his calf. Is going to be out a couple of weeks. And Tavis asked a question about Bradley and now the best edge run defender next to D-Law. Who do we think is going to be our edge starters? Just based on the snaps, you have to just put Basham in. So I guess which end does Basham play? And then who's starting opposite him?
Armstrong.
Jerry's favorite player, Dorrance Armstrong.
Yeah.
Which side does Armstrong play on then?
Left.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think Basham on the right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love Armstrong.
Me too.
I wish they would play him right. I just think
that's another Bluff fucking guy that I like because Bluff turned me on to him. Yeah, no, but yeah, he could play right, Marcus. I mean, that's a possibility. It seems like he's always on left, and it seems like Basham has been on the right. That's how it seems. I might be wrong on that. Somebody can fact check that. Matt might know it by heart.
Well, hasn't Basham been starting on the right? I mean, on the left with
he might
Gregory?
Be. That's what I'm saying. Because to me, it seems like Basham comes in for Gregory on the right, and if fucking Armstrong's been on the left. But like I said, Matt would probably know it.
Yeah,
by heart. I would have to actually look that shit up.
Armstrong always plays left. I think he's a better right, and I've never got a chance to see it. But
Yeah.
More than likely, he's playing left, like you said.
Yeah, you think why do you think he's better at right? And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just curious why.
Just one of those things. Watching him in college.
College, okay.
Yeah, I watched him a lot in college. He was by far their best pass rusher on their team, and this was getting triple team. And if you look at him, he's a height, weight, speed beast. I mean, 6'5", 35-inch arms.
He does got some fucking
4.6 speed. He has the traits for a right end. They just always play him at left. So I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't disagree. I never even thought about him playing right, but yeah, you're right. I could see him doing good there too.
But they never do it. So more likely they won't this week.
Well, when we drafted D-Law was supposed to be on the fucking right. That was supposed to be our right defensive end. And then like the next year, like 2015, they put him on the fucking left when we had Hardy.
Yeah, I was just about to say we could thank Greg Hardy for that.
Yeah, and then he's been on left ever since then. And I always thought he would have been a better right defensive end, which in his defense, he's been fucking good from the left too.
Yeah.
Or stopping the run and shit like that. He's been really fucking good. So I'm not mad at it, but I just always thought he'd been better from the right.
I can have a whole nother conversation about why do we put Tyrone Crawford, a defensive tackle at right end in a pass rush position, and leave Gregory and Armstrong on the left. I could have a whole 20-minute rant on that one another day. That always bothered me.
Yeah, Matt Owen, he's done that to me a couple times too.
It's the old regime. That's why. It's the old regime.
Yeah. We'll see. And Tavis says Anaya better than Basham. I don't know.
He's got to prove it.
We have to have a discussion on that one. I love Anaya. I love them coming out of college. I have a hard time taking my college feelings away from certain players, but Anaya just hasn't shown it to me. But based on that college tape, you would think he'd be better than Basham. But Basham has some good college tape too, so you just never know. And the 94s, they did play opposite each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll see. But yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be Basham on the right and Armstrong on the left. But
so considering what we've seen in the past, last week, and like you said, Charlie, Jerry's not listening to this. I'm just getting you guys' opinion.
No, I know. I was just being funny.
When you're looking for your defensive ends as your starters, are you more concerned about who's going to generate pressure / pass rush, or who's going to control those edges in the run game? Which one is more important to you guys?
Go ahead, Rika.
I like how you throw it off the right on the tough question.
But she hasn't said nothing in a while. We've been talking, so I figured I'll let her talk.
Which one's more important, stopping that run on the edges or getting to that quarterback?
Ladies first. That's how sweet I am.
It really isn't, Charlie.
There's no wrong.
For me, it's getting to the quarterback.
Okay.
I like it. Yeah, that's what I like.
I agree with Rika.
Shut up.
Go ahead, Lunatic. What do you think?
What you got?
Well, we saw Quinn get 11 sacks and no run defense.
Yeah.
You gotta have that happy medium. I mean, yes, you pay defensive ends for sacks, but I expect you to play the run. This is a tough one, but things that affect the quarterback. So you've got to get that pressure. So if you're saying one or the other, I'll put the player in that affects the quarterback's throwing motion and affects the timing. So give me that pressure.
Okay. Now, with that being said,
I love how he talks, his excitement. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's fucking cool.
And
as shit.
The conviction.
You put that guy in.
Well, after seeing Quinn, all I know is, hey, let Quinn rush upfield, then run right behind him.
No, yeah.
And that's why D-Law's underappreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
All right. Now, with that being said, because we all think pressure is more important, how much do we see Parsons at end? That's where I was headed to.
Yes.
Well, just to piss Eric Berger off, my old co-host, I hope he's there every fucking down.
All 70 snaps.
In case he watches this, he's not watching right now, but in case he does, I just wanted to say it for him. Yeah, I think you'll see him quite a bit. Not quite a bit. Man, I don't know what percentage I would say, but I don't think it would be like earlier in the year when they had him there with his hand in the dirt like predominantly.
Right.
But I think we'll see him more than we usually do. Now, with that said, I never dreamed they was going to do that in the couple of games they did that with. So I might be wrong. That motherfucker might have his hand in the dirt from the beginning, and that's where he plays. Who knows? But I don't think they will, but we'll see.
Didn't somebody ask McCarthy the question? He said, tune into the game this Sunday or something like that. Or get your tickets ready for Yeah.
I think it was Friday's press conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I love Matt Owen.
I like
so much.
Parsons on
That's why
the
we
edge.
think so much alike.
I love Parsons on the edge. I adore Parsons on the edge. I'm totally against Eric Berger on that one. I'm usually not against Eric Berger. He's my partner in, our crusade for the downfall of Charley. But yeah, I like Parsons on the edge. I would say not the total snap count, but for Parsons' snap count, I would like to see him on the edge at least 60%.
Okay. That's a lot
of his snaps.
Even
not the total defensive snap count, but of the snaps where Parsons is on the field.
Parsons normally plays about 90% of snaps.
60% of the snaps that he takes, I would like to see him on the edge.
Which is pretty much every fucking defensive snap because he already come here. He came off the field quite a bit. Maybe in the chat the other day.
Yeah,
I kept saying, "Where the fuck is he at?" It was on that one drive. He'd only came in there on 3rd and longs to rush the passer, and then after that, he'd go off the field. I don't know what was up. I don't know if they was giving him a breather or if he was dealing with something on the sidelines. Something I don't know. I didn't like that he wasn't in the game because he needs to be in the game. But I don't give a shit where he's at. Just keep him in the game. He does not. I mean, give him a breather. I'm not saying make him play 100%, but he needs to be in there 95% or more. I know some people worry about him getting hurt and wearing down because he's, he didn't play last year. He's not used to this, but he's also a fucking 22-year-old man. So, I mean, and he's also our best player on our defense. And so it's kind of important that he's out there a lot. I understand you got to weigh both of them out, but I just, and I also understand him going against 300-pound offensive lineman can wear his ass out.
That's my concern.
That is a concern. I mean, that I totally agree with that. Yeah. But if he's your best pass rusher, you just kind of, have to pray to baby Jesus. I always say that he doesn't get hurt and he don't wear down.
My concern is not injuries; it's more mental. Because, like you said, when you're going against 300-pounders for 50 snaps, and then you got to go at linebacker and process and run. There's a mental exhaustion as well as a physical exhaustion. And that's what causes brain farts. When you have a guy coming in dog tired and now he's trying to read and react. So if they would have put him at end, I'd rather see him play end more than to do 50-50 because then I feel like you're going to lack more at linebacker than you need to. And Tavis still pushing the Bradley and I. Since Tavis keeps bringing it up, let's throw it out there. Let's do an over-under with this one. Average game has 70 snaps. Over-under or not, 10 snaps this week.
Over.
Okay.
Over.
Okay.
Well, this is going to sound bad on my part. And I want to defend this by saying I just been busy. I haven't been on Twitter. Is he going to be on the 48? The 40? Is he going to be on game day roster today?
Has that been listed yet?
They haven't activated yet, but he'll probably be activated tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he. I mean, I'm not so sure. I mean, because he was cut and came.
Yeah, he's on
got brought back to the practice.
He's on the practice squad, but if they're going to activate him, they'll probably activate him tomorrow, which I expect them to do just because we need the depth. You were asking about the Micah at edge. We've seen a game where we needed Micah at the edge, but we had Randy Gregory opposite of him in San Diego, and his snaps went down almost half because, again, it takes it out of you. That's why I hope if our offense shows up, we can leave him at linebacker and then rush him situationally, so that we can keep them in there for most of the defensive snaps. Mm-hmm. Because if we're going for pressure, but we keep pace or are playing with the lead, we don't need to wear him out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say under, just because I don't know if he's even going to be active or not. I mean, I would think he would. I mean, I agree with that, but
I'm with you, Charlie. And I was just about to make this point that Professor O brought up too. Because Kamara's been on the roster all season. He didn't get cut and put on the practice squad. That kid has some athletic ability. They may give him a few more snaps. And I know 10 snaps doesn't sound like a lot, but in the course of a game, when you got Basham, you got Armstrong, you got Golston, then you got Kamara might get a few snaps. 10 snaps might be a lot to ask for a 9 coming up from the practice squad, but you never know.
I think we see Anai and Kamara more than we see Golston.
Wow, okay. You think Golston had that bad of a game last week, Rika? Okay. I mean, I can't say I disagree. He didn't have a good game.
I'm not a big Golston fan. Not that big of a Golston fan. I haven't been. I didn't like the pick. I think he's okay.
Okay.
I don't think he's great. I don't, he doesn't excite me. He's not a Golston fan.
Yeah, I know. I think you'll see more snaps than a 9.
What happened to that sexy man of a man guy that used to be on here?
Is he talking about
Marcus
Lambo or
is
Eric?
right there. He's right next to me in the box. What are you talking?
Is he talking about Lambo or Eric?
High five. Oh, that's Eric's buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. Eric had to drop out for that job that he got.
You know what's interesting though about Golston is this regime's pick. It seems like they're favoring their players, and I don't know if they're still, if they have to pick between the 3, they'll go with their regime players in Kamara and Golston over Anai. That's the only wild card where McCarthy and this regime seems to be, hey, these are our guys, not something from holdover and stuff like that. So that's a little interesting thing that I've noticed also.
Yeah. I've had this discussion quite a bit. Quinn really loves length. And if you line up every defensive end we have, from Kamara to Armstrong to Golston to Gregory, you got 6'4", 35-inch arms, 6'5", 35-inch arms, so on and so forth. Then you get to the bottom of the list, and you got Bradley at 6'3", 32-inch arms. Whether you like them or not, Quinn has measurables that he likes to put on display, and Armstrong just doesn't meet those measurables.
Meaning not
whether it's right or wrong.
You heard the door.
So whether it's right or wrong, Anai does not meet those measurables. If that was Golston or Armstrong that jumped off sides, I don't think they would have gotten cut. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah,
well, Brandon Anai has taken 50 snaps all season on the defense side of the ball.
And I would probably guess that most of those came in the Chargers game. Probably I would guess a third of them probably came in that game.
Golston
probably played 50 snaps his first game of the season.
Golston's seen 203 snaps, and it's played less games than Anai.
Yeah, he's only came in. Week 6.
He's seen 38% of the snaps, but Nai's seen 9.43.
Yeah. And right or wrong, that's just how it is.
But going back to the Lunatic's point about their draft picks, yes, I do think that's why Hamilton was cut and put back on the practice squad, and Bo has gotten many snaps as he's got because that was their draft pick. Now, with that said,
6'4", 34-inch arms.
Yeah, Hamilton has caught up to Bo now on snap counts. Well, not total snap counts. Pretty close to total. 125 to 143. But Bohanna's seen 143 snaps, and Hamilton's seen 125. And Hamilton hasn't been active every game.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's there past few games. Hamilton's kind of I think they kind of done what me and Marcus and Eric and Rock has been saying since preseason. Watch the fucking film, and Hamilton would get more playing time than Bo. If you just go off the film only and take draft picks out of it, Hamilton outplays Bo, and to me, it's not even fucking close. And I think they're finally starting to see that too, hopefully.
Yeah. So, Tavis, you've been on the not train. There's your example right there where a guy who doesn't meet the measurables is starting to get the recognition. So, it could happen with a 9. I don't think it happens this week personally, but it could definitely happen in the near future.
You think it's more likely, though, to happen in the next few weeks without Gregory in.
Oh, yeah. Because, we're going to have rotation there because neither one of them, Armstrong, D-Law or Gregory won't be back for 3-4 weeks. So, we're going with it's going to be Basham, it's going to be Armstrong, it's going to be Golston, it's going to be Anah. It's going to have to be there's going to be some serious rotation there.
Yeah. They got to find the combo.
Yeah.
Definitely that defensive end by committee approach we're going to have to come up with.
Yeah. But, shit. Well, Gregory missed 2 games early in the season too, didn't he?
He did. He was out there Chargers game.
Yeah. So, I'm not making light of it because I love that dude. He's stepped up this year and he's a beast. But, hopefully we can hang in there and we can scheme something up and help out and shit like that. So, who's our next game? Kansas City after Atlanta?
Kansas City.
Yeah.
But like Matt Owens said earlier, man, we got like 4 games in 18 days, 3 and 12, some shit like that's just but that's shit we've been dealing with for fucking 50 years ever since we played on Thanksgiving. Only difference was before 2000 and shit, what year was it? 6, 7, somewhere in there. We used to get that 10-day rest after the Thanksgiving day. Now we don't. Now we got to turn right back around and play Thursday night football after our. So but then we get a 10-day rest. But it used to be a 10-day rest every time. But they got to put us on Thursday night since everybody else plays on Thursday night.
So now, and Tavis still on the defensive ends. He's hard on him tonight, saying he's glad Gregory's out so we can see these cats get exposed and see who's worth keeping. This is definitely the chance to see it.
Definitely. I like that philosophy too, Tavis. On the offensive side of the ball, I want to see what Steele can do at both positions. I want to see what Collins can do. I want to figure out who our best 5 is and what we need to do in the draft, thinking about Tyron Smith's injuries moving forward. And I want to figure that out at this point of the season, not in the playoffs, not in late December. I want to know right now.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a tough stretch, Matt. My preseason predictions, these next 4 games, I actually had us going 2-2 in these next 4.
Me too.
For right now, I'll keep it that. We'll see how this week goes and how I'll change it. And I think we play Washington after that. So I actually had us 2-3 because I had us losing on the road to Washington. Okay. So, but I'm pretty sure that pick, I'll go ahead and let y'all know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to change that pick. But the Chiefs game, I might change. But see, that's another thing. And the Raiders game, that's not just a, dropping apart like I thought it would be, So
that team is slowly deteriorating, though, Charlie.
Yeah, they are. And then you have the Saints. I'll probably change that pick and have us beating them. But that team is just like, it's like every week. You just don't know. Yeah. I have no clue what I'm going to get out of them. It's and somebody asked me the other day, I think it was Mr. Rome, asked me why did I have all the good teams for the rest of the season I was losing to, and I said that's because them were road games. It's not because they're good teams. If we had Kansas City at home before the season started, I would have picked us to beat Kansas City. My main reason us losing to Kansas City because we had to go on the road and play them. Yeah. Same with the Saints. If we had the Saints at home, I would have chose to, a W for that game. When I do my picks for preseason, they heavily rely on if it's home or away. When it's a good team. If it's a good team and everything's equal, I'm more times than not, I'm going with the home team. Doesn't mean it always happens because as y'all know, I'm in y'all's pick'em group and I fucking suck. So doesn't mean I'm always right. Just usually I'll go with the home team. It's usually how I sway that. If quarterbacks are pretty equal, teams are pretty equal, I'll just go with the home team.
What's your name in the pick'em group, Charlie?
Alcoholic.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said something. I got to make my picks.
Yeah, I know. I didn't pick Thursday night. I forgot to do it, but I thought, well, everybody lost that one because nobody's picking fucking Miami to win that. So I'm good on that. Everybody lost that game.
Yeah, I haven't made a Thursday night pick in 3 weeks, but I would have lost every one I picked.
Well, ain't you in second place or some bullshit asshole?
I'm in first right now.
God damn it. And you don't even make your picks every fucking week on the first night. I make mine every fucking week and I still can't. And fucking Rika missed a whole week. And she's only like 3 games behind me. I'm like, Jesus Christ. She asked me that. She goes, well, baby, do you need some help? Oh, fuck off. Fucking asshole. Fucking ask me if I need help with my picks.
I was trying.
Obviously, I do because I suck. That's why I told everybody when I did that. And I said, hey, it's $100 free. I'll pay. Winner takes all. I was like, fucking, you ain't got to worry about me winning because I ain't winning this shit. So I'm definitely not going to get my $100
then he tells
back.
me if I win, I'm not getting the $100.
Hey, you wasn't supposed to tell nobody that. That's
everybody was telling Charley.
Everybody else gets the $100,
huh?
not me.
Yeah, that's why I told everybody, I am literally donating you $100 if you win this because I am not winning this thing. Back in the 90s, and I was good at it, but that's because back then it was easier to pick games because you had your good teams that was just going to win. You just knew. And then you had your bad teams. Now the NFL is so much more even and more closer. It's harder for me to pick them games. And plus, I pick with my fucking heart sometimes, not my brain. You know.
DJ Dog asked if any other team has to play back-to-back Thursday night games. I checked, and no, sir, they do not. You would think that Detroit would have to do that too, because they always play a Thanksgiving game like we do, but they don't. They get their 10 days.
Yep.
They get
after
their 10
the
days.
Thanksgiving game, and then we don't get our 10 days till a week later.
Right.
All right, guys,
let's go to the linebacker group real quick.
I think part of that real quick. I think part of that because a lot of NFL complained about us getting the Thanksgiving Day every year at home and how big of an advantage that is. And I think they was like, all right, that is an advantage. So what we'll do is we'll make them play back-to-back Thursday night games or Thursday games. Because I know for you, Troy Aikman will tell you, and all the 90 Cowboys, you asked them, they loved playing at home on Thanksgiving Day because they said they had 100% advantage. He said no travel time. It was 10. He said the other team had whole less day to do anything.
Yep.
He said if they had a night game that Sunday night, that's 2. They got 2 more days than the other team did. He said so it was a big advantage playing on Thanksgiving Day at home. So
and also that was back when there was no Thursday night game, so it was a rarity for team.
Yeah.
Now you're more used to because you may end up playing on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. All right, let's go to linebacker really quick so we can go to secondary. We got a bit of a revenge game in there with Keanu Neal. And I think Professor O made a point about he thinks we're going to see him blitzing more. What do you guys think about that? You think we do some different stuff with Neal this week because it's kind of a rivalry game and he may know the players a little bit better than some of the other guys?
KZ too.
KZ is what we'll get to that once we get to secondary. But at linebacker, like Neal's been pretty much in like a 60-40 split with LVE, with Parsons taking that other 95 at the other linebacker spot. So if we're talking about putting Parsons at end, are we saying Neal is going to kind of take over 70-80% of the snaps at linebacker this week? I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers out there, but basically, is Neal going to be on the field a whole lot more than usual?
I would think so.
I think that Dan Quinn wants to make a statement this week. I think Dan Quinn wants to let Atlanta know who the man is, and I think he wants to use Neal and KZ to do it. That's what I would want to do.
Okay.
That would be my thing coming in. I would have been planning this shit since the day that Jerry hired me. Since the day that schedule came out, I would have been planning this game if I were Dan Quinn, and I would have been using Neal and KZ to make my point.
See, mentally, that's how I am. But
yeah.
But
Dan Quinn's probably like not as vindictive as
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you got it. It's human, so you think he would, but I don't know how much coaches really go into it. It's like, you know what, fuck this. This is my statement game. I want to show them they shouldn't fire me. You know, but I think he also probably look at like I deserve to get fired because his teams was awful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so but obviously it wasn't all on him. I mean, but you're right, man. Maybe it is. I don't think Neil will do anything more special than he normally does. Except I think he'll be out there more just because I think we'll have Parsons on the edge more than normal.
Right.
Yeah. Neil's been solid. He's been solid for this whole season.
Not great.
Yeah, that's what I say. Nothing great.
Bad.
Yeah, nothing. I thought, man, that motherfucker's bad dude, but nothing like, dude, man, that dude, his transition linebacker hasn't been gone well. He's done pretty solid. I mean, he just, nothing special. LB is soft drink.
Tavis cracks me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a big LVE fan either. I mean, I am as far as his play goes, but actually, I'm not that big of a fan of as far as his play goes. But I'm more on his play than I am his injuries and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, man, he's been healthy this year, so I gotta give him credit.
Yeah. So and Matt O bringing the point about I was about to go to next, saying you have to play Neil a large percentage because you don't want LV on Patterson. So Matt, does that mean you're playing Neil at Mike? Because that would be the position. Because I think they're going to play Patterson out of the backfield a lot this game. I don't think we're going to see him as more of a pure receiver like we've seen in weeks past. It's going to be interesting. That matchup is going to really tell the tale of the game. If we're talking about taking Parsons off the linebacker spot, one of those linebackers got to step up and cover Patterson out of the backfield.
Yeah, that was a silent there.
Yeah. The lunatic, you got a thing for us?
No, I was sitting there thinking about that, about the matchup, and if Neil's going to match up with them and how that's going to work.
Well, Dan Quinn is not going to be as vocal because Charley said, I don't know how much the coaches. Vic Fangio heard the noise and he was beating his chest about he's got the pattern to beat Dallas and stuff like that. I don't think Dan Quinn is going to be as vocal, but yes, I think he's going to play Neil just for familiarity. Patterson wasn't there. Pitts wasn't there when he left, but he's still going to go ahead and make a statement using the players that he brought with him. And don't forget, George Witt Jr., the passing game coordinator, came with him. The defensive line coach, the British gentleman, I forgot his name.
What is his name? I love that dude, though.
Yeah,
I love that guy, though.
Yes, but he came with him. So Dan Quinn is not going to be as vocal as Fangio, but he knows what this game means. And with him, I would go with familiarity, doing it with those former Atlanta players.
Yeah, I think
Aiden Dirty. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, it's like
I always want to call him Arden. I always want to mix that up.
It's like a human thing to want. You always, when you're playing somebody that you used to coach for, hell yeah, you want to beat them. You want to show them they know, hey, y'all made a mistake, or hey, y'all cut the cord too quick. So definitely is a motivation there for Neil too. Neil and KZ, I think they both would have motivation. Like he said, assistant coaches, Aiden and my mind goes back to the defensive back coach, whatever the lunatic said his name. I think they all have
Joe Witt Jr.
Joe Witt,
yeah, Witt. So they all have motivation. So I think they're all kind of going to have to step up their game a little bit this week.
Yeah, Tavis says it's funny how we missed Jabril, but not really because he had no reps. Charlie, tell us why you love Cox.
I mean, I honestly I don't know why nobody. I mean, why would anybody not love Cox?
Exactly.
I mean, Cox is just awesome. I mean, Cox are good going front and back, side to side. I mean, Cox can hit a motherfucker in their mouth. I mean, Jesus.
Charlie's
who the fuck doesn't love Cox? Sabi broker
when Cox hits you, you feel it.
Yeah, yeah. when our Cox hits you, you're going to feel that Cox.
Yeah, just
why don't you even get me on the conversation?
Just ask the New York Giants.
Yeah, he got knocked the fuck out by Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Daniel Jones got slapped hard in the head by our Cox.
Yeah, he did. Look at Marcus. He's like, Jesus, where's this show going?
I'm trying to transition.
Poor Marcus.
Hey, the comments keep coming in. You got to keep rolling with it.
Yeah.
That's what gives us the views. That's what gives us the views.
Cox always going to get views, Bubba.
Yeah, Tabs. There's no way around that. I mean, it's not just buddy system. It's just culture. Coaches like certain players, and they're gonna put those players out there, regardless of what we as fans or other analysts see. Coaches have their preferences.
And you know what? To be honest with you, I'm not. More times than not, I don't get mad about that because it's like everything in life. Like if I own the company, there's a good chance I'd hire some people I know that I'm comfortable with, that I know who knows me, knows my attitude, knows my personality, knows, I'm going to call you a dipshit here and there.
Yeah.
You're not going to get mad and fucking quit on me. So I don't have a problem. The only time I have a problem with it is when it's fucking obvious. Like, dude, like, look, it's Bo and fucking Hamilton. I know I love bringing that shit up. It's just like, how much fucking film do you need to show you that fucking Hamilton is just a better player than Bohanna? Right now, I'm not saying the fucking future. Right now, 2021 season, Hamilton is just a better player than fucking Bo. He can play the 0, the 1, the 2, the 3. Doesn't matter. He's going to outplay Bo no matter where he's at. And when there's so much, but they're finally seeing that. That's why I said earlier, Hamilton's fucking snaps are starting to come up and get right there with Bo's, that's how it should have been from the beginning of the season. There's no reason that fucking Hamilton shouldn't have been active on every fucking game day roster. And he hasn't been. And Bo has been. That when it's like that, that's when it irritates me. But when it's like a pretty close race and I think this player's better, than this guy, but they're going with this guy because that's their guy, I don't really get too mad, because I get it. You trust that guy, but more times not, they're going to go with fucking, like everybody says, sponsors. If you got a sponsor, it helps.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how, and like I said, everything in the world works like that. It's just not football. Right. Jobs work like that. I mean, my job, like I told y'all earlier, I was on a job with my ex-brother-in-law, and there was people out there I was making just as much money as they were, and they was 10 times better employee than I was, but I got the job because I knew the superintendent, so I told him, hey, if you got a problem, go talk to him. Don't tell me. Just because I suck at my job doesn't mean I want to quit it because I know y'all better than me.
I didn't want to put that one up, Rika.
If that's a 94s, yes, I second that. I gotta make a shirt about that. I gotta talk to Twisted Gorilla about that one.
I am dead.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm glad I'm not the only one doing it. Fucking Marcus said, I was going to put that one up.
I'm not putting that one up.
That motherfucker just scrolled over it and Rika saw it.
All right, guys. We're at an hour 37 minutes. Views have been pretty steady, so thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys who've been consistently commenting. Stephen White, Professor O. Tavis, DJ Dog. For the other people who are watching, let us know you're still in the comments. The 94s also, didn't forget you. We got one more position to talk about in this secondary. And I think this is the matchup that everybody's really wondering about. The question's been kind of thrown in and out the whole episode, and I wanted to kind of save it to the end. Big question. What do we do with Kyle Pitts? Watching the Falcons, because I've watched the last 4 or 5 games, every game they played in, the team put their number 1 corner on Pitts. Xavier Howard, Stephon Gilmore, Marlon Humphrey. And who else did they play? They played Denver, right? They did play Denver because they did have Surtain on them as well. So pretty much the last 4 or 5 weeks, teams put their number 1 corner on him. Some weeks it works well, like with Carolina. Some weeks it didn't, like with Denver. What do you guys do? Do you do some type of bracket? Do you put your number 1 guy on him?
Go ahead, Lunatic.
How do you handle that?
I have been going back and forth on this issue because, to me, it's not Pitts. Atlanta offense runs through Cordell Patterson.
Yes,
but you've got to treat Pitts like the wide receiver he is. So do I put Diggs on him? I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with Diggs on Pitts, so we can eliminate that weapon and bracket Patterson somehow, or out of the backfield and concentrate on him. So that's what I want Diggs on Pitts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to bracket Patterson coming out of the backfield though, because they shift him a lot.
But he's saying bracket
Pitts. Oh, I thought he said Patterson.
No, yeah, he
No,
said bracket.
no. It was put Diggs on Pitts and either double team Cordell Patterson, because I mean Patterson is their he leads them in rushing and he's their second in receiving behind Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking Patterson is more the offense than Pitts, but still do not let Pitts have that game on you, because this is the first of 3 games. We're going to have some pretty good tight ends. And I think we're the last in the NFL in tight end completion percentage. We're giving up 77% completions to tight ends. So what Dan Quinn does against Pitts is going to be what he's going to do against Kelsey and what he's going to do against Waller on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm with Matt Owen. I would bracket Pitts with fucking KZ and fucking whatchamacallit, Diggs, and then let fucking Curse handle fucking Patterson.
Yeah,
out of the backfield. That's probably what I would do. I love Diggs, and this is going to sound like I'm taking a shot. I say it every week, and people freak out. Diggs is a very good corner. I even call him great corner if you want to, with great ball skills. But he's not a shutdown corner, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's many of fucking Hall of Famers right now. In fact, 99% of your Hall of Famers in the NFL aren't fucking shutdown corners. They were fucking great corners.
Mm-hmm.
Shutdown corners don't grow in trees. They're kind of like fucking quarterbacks. You can't find them everywhere. You can get Diggs. And not just last game. I mean, he's been gotten before, but he usually gets that 1 or 2 picks. And he'll make you pay, but you can't get him. But yeah, on this game, since they really only have 2 guys, I'd give Diggs help. I wouldn't just let him alone out there.
Yeah,
with Pitts, I'll give him over top help, and then fucking, like he said, let Curse handle fucking whatchamacallit. Unless they fucking keep fucking I still let Curse. I was about to say, unless they keep Parsons at linebacker, I'm not so sure I want Parsons on fucking Cordell.
But it's gonna be hard to keep Curse on Patterson because they put him everywhere. They motion him to the slot. They motion him like a H-back, running back. They motion him everywhere to make sure they get those matchups. So I think just from that, you're going to have to figure out a way to bracket him because you're not always going to guarantee you get the best matchup.
Yeah. But this is how I look at it. Anybody who has at least 2 weapons in the passing game, you're going to have a difficult time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just we roll 3 motherfuckers out there. Actually, we can roll 4 or 5 out there.
That's true.
You know, and fucking Tampa Bay rolls 3 or 4, and LA can roll 2, 3 out there. Fucking Arizona. I mean, it's just you kind of have to sometimes just pick your poison and just fucking go with it, and just you know, like I always say, pray to baby Jesus that it works out for you. You know, so anytime, I mean, passing game is just how it is in NFL, and if you have more than 1 weapon, it's somebody's going to go off. It's you can't shut everybody down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably give Diggs help and go with Patterson and see if we can't do something with him. But yeah, that would be my thing.
Yeah. And like Tavis said, it's a mismatch with Pitts regardless. You just gotta hope for the best.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No matter who he matches up against. I mean, it's kind of like fucking somebody saying, well, who do you want to put on Cooper? Well, does it fucking really matter? Or
right.
Lamb, you know, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's going to be a mismatch no matter what. So you just got to hope for the best and shit like that. Hope for a Denver Bronco type game. That your quarterback's off, your receivers dropping fucking balls, and everything else. Come back here with Matt Owen. 29th in completion percentage with tight ends, 77.8. There you go, lunatic. That's what Matt Owen just fucking commented
not
on.
32nd, 29th, but still bottom there.
No, I was just letting you know he said that. Also, Pitts, Matt Owen posted, Pitts has a 23% plus target rate the last 3 games. He's their number 1 target share until Ridley returns. So they've been targeting the shit out of him the past 3 games. So,
and I wouldn't be shocked on top of that if Pitts' catch percentage is probably like in the high 80s because he doesn't drop a lot of balls. from
No,
what
he
I've
does
seen.
got good. Yeah, he does got good hands.
Yeah. And I want to put DJ Doll's question up there real quick because I want to address this one. He says, talking about curses, the guy, did you bring in Mukwamu? And I've seen this going through social media a lot. Do we put Mukwamu in? Do we put in Wright because they got the height? Height isn't everything. If you could put a 5'11" guy on Pitts and he could do a good job on him, it's about technique and talent. Just because you got a height, weight, speed guy doesn't always mean he's gonna be a good comparable.
Well, everybody knows how I feel about that shit because
Like
everybody was fucking hammering on AB and talking about he sucks and let's just throw fucking Wright out there. At least he's fucking tall and blah 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 blah. I fucking always said I don't give a shit. The motherfucker is 7'2". I don't give a shit. He fucking didn't show anything in the preseason enough to fucking make you think that he's going to do anything better than Brown did. So no, I'm not going to throw either rookie out there that hasn't played hardly any snaps in hopes that he can cover one of the best fucking receivers in the fucking NFL right now. Or tight ends, whatever the fuck you want to call him. I'll call him receiver because to me he's not a tight end.
I think not having Ridley definitely simplifies.
There you go. Matt Owens said it
equation.
right after I did.
Film games experience is a tough task. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're asking the kid that hasn't got no playing time and just throwing the fuck in there. Hey, you tall, go try to cover this tall wide receiver. You know, that fucking shit works out every time.
Right.
You know, it's like Jesus Christ, man. It don't always fucking translate. I love Muck. That's what I call him. You know, but he's still young, he's rookie, and he just really hasn't got experience.
Mm-hmm.
And asking him to do that's just a tough fucking task.
Yeah, like Tavis said, he's not ready. Not ready yet.
Yeah. And that's why I said a lot of these rookies, when I talk down on them, people think I'm talking bad about it. It's not that. I'm not saying they don't have a future. I'm just saying, like, right now, you know, middle of season, let's, hey, man, let's fucking bring this rookie off the fucking bench and let him go fucking cover Kyle Pitts.
Right.
That's a fucking great plan there, buddy. You know, just it makes no sense to me.
That's definitely true. All right, so the rest of these receivers, anybody else concerned you guys? Zacchaeus, Russell Gage.
I think they're all solid.
Tajay Sharp.
Yeah. I think they're all solid. I mean, they got a good little fucking passing game. I mean, they're not horrible. Again, they just don't. I wasn't scared of Denver. I'll say that. So, and that didn't work out well for me. But I'm not really that scared of fucking Atlanta. I'm just not too much worries me about them. And I guess a lot of it has to do, honestly, it's not our defense. A lot of it has to do with our offense. And it's just like, I guess because how our offense is, I just feel like even if another team has a good game, a good day, our offense can outpoint them.
Right.
Again, like I said, that didn't happen last week. Yeah. But I don't expect that to happen again. I mean, that's just like, that was fucking awful. Fucking Cooper, Lamb, all of them was dropping balls. Fucking Dak was missing wide open receivers. Fucking Steele was getting beat like a fucking drum. You know, so I don't expect all that. Every bad thing that could happen last week on offense, it all happened. And I can't expect that to happen again.
Yeah.
But
Tavis, you're right. Gage is underrated. But he doesn't scare me in this game. I can see him making some good plays.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think they got some little, you know, some offensive weapons, but just nothing that overly worries me and like, oh shit, how are we going to handle this guy?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but you know, like I said, I go in every game, especially against teams with, you know, passing weapons, knowing that, hey, they're going to pass the ball on you. Like I've always said, passing is just an efficient way to move the ball. The rules are set up for the passing game to be great. So you just kind of have to kind of hang in there with it and hope for some turnovers, hope for some pressure on the quarterback, hope for some mistakes, hope for your offense is going to score points too, push the pressure on the other team. You know, it's just, like I said, passing is an efficient way to move the ball. I mean, like right now, every team in the NFL except fucking 5 teams are efficient at passing the ball? Every team. Jets, Jaguars, Chicago, Detroit, Carolina, and the Texans. That's the only teams that aren't efficient in passing the ball. Every other team at least has a positive efficiency rating.
We might have to go reevaluate the Jets with Mike White versus Zach Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, they're right on the edge. They're 27th, and the 26th team is mine. Miami is an efficient passing team, barely, but still, I mean, it's more efficient way to move the ball. That's what I've always said. It's not that running game doesn't matter. Just means it's easier to move the ball down the field with the passing game. It's just how it is.
All right, we got another question from the comments, and then I have one more secondary comment to make. 94 said, what about Hayden Hurst? We forgetting him? Former first-round pick. Traded a second-round pick for him 2 years ago.
No, not at all. Like I said, they got some good offensive weapons. It's just nobody worth naming. I mean, nobody worth. I'm like, oh, what are we going to do with this guy?
Yeah,
but yeah, no, he's a good player. I mean,
he was the one that broke free on the deep touchdown.
Yeah, he was wide the fuck open. Like nobody's within 20 yards of that fucker. Yep. Dude. So yeah, no, I mean, like I said, they have a good passing game. They have some good weapons, and they can cause trouble for you. But like I said, I expect us to be able to handle it for the most part, and I expect our offense to be better to put them in bad situations, to force them to do things that they don't want to do.
And then we got Matt O thinking outside the box.
Matty O.
I guess he's saying, you know what? Let's just put Parsons at end full time, take that linebacker spot off the field altogether, and just go with a dime.
I like that.
3 safeties, get your linebacker out there. 1 linebacker, and let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm not against it. Yeah, I'm not against it at all.
I just have a feeling Quinn's going to have some type of wrinkle this game, playing against his old team. There's definitely going to be a wrinkle we haven't seen before come up this week. I don't know what it's going to be. This could be it.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be against that at all. I never even thought about that, but yeah, that's definitely an option.
I want to pray our front four can hold up against the run if they try to run it on us. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Dan Quinn has a lot of situational players that, yes, he's got those options. That's why this game this week for Dan Quinn, quietly, he like you said, he'll come up with that wrinkle. And yeah, for Hayden Hurst, I have no problem with Hurst, Hooker, go ahead and covering him. It's more Cordell Patterson. That's the man that scares me because it just clicked this year. I mean, he's playing like their MVP. And until Ridley comes back, he's the one you got to stop, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But I got to go. I appreciate it. Tavis Bank, Matty O, Stephen White, John Meeker, DJ Dog 94. Thank you very much for all the comments. I learn as much from the comments, even sometimes more, than the content creators. I really appreciate all that information. That being said, hey, we are a little hesitant because Matty Ice is 3-3 against the Dallas Cowboys. He's QBR is 100 in those games. So we know that he can put up those scores. But if our offense shows up, and I know that will, our offense can more than match their offense. Their defense is not the same defense. We can do those situational stops. That's why I'm saying Dallas. I hope you don't mind if I do my score prediction because I got to go. Got to go get ready for work.
Go ahead, babe.
I've got Dallas going 30, Atlanta 20. Like I said, our offense and Dak will not have that repeat performance because good teams don't have back-to-back bad games. So, Cowboys Nation, bendiciones. Have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow during the game. Hey, and I always tell them, go Cowboys. Puro pinche Cowboys. Thank you.
Thank you, Lunatic, man.
Thanks, the Lunatic.
Yeah, he's definitely right. One of the main things that makes me do my show is just it's just having a conversation with the guys in the comments. I've been blessed to have a lot of great people. Like you guys are in the comments. I'm in you guys' comments, and half the people making comments could easily have their own podcast, and we watch them.
Oh, most definitely. All it takes is time.
Yeah.
Can you find the time to do it? If you can find the time to do it,
that's definitely true.
Yeah, if you can find the time to do it, I can tell you 15 people that's come in our comments that could do the same shit I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, can you find time, or do you even like doing it? I mean,
Right.
some people just prefer to be in the chat, not be on camera and shit like that. But like I said, the 94 is fucking the lunatic, especially the lunatic, fucking Matt Owen. Well, Matt Owen does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Finally.
mean, yeah, fucking Travis Bank, fucking all of them.
Travis,
DJ Dog, any of them can do it. I mean, it's not like we're some kind of fucking. Dude, we didn't go to school for this shit,
Right.
you know, it's not a fucking hard thing to do. Just get on and talk. But I would say this tonight's probably been one of the better ones. The questions and shit,
Yeah.
like fucking more involved. I mean, I knew what we was going to talk about, but we talked about a lot more than I thought we would because of some of the questions coming from the chat.
All right, I got one more question before we get out of here.
Go.
Okay.
Boss Man Fat. How much do we see him play this week?
Personally, I think so much as we've been saying. I don't, until somebody goes down with the injury, knock on some wood, because I'm not trying to jinx this. I just don't see him getting a lot of playing time. I mean, you got Diggs. He ain't taking it from him.
Mm-hmm.
People can think that what they want about fucking AB, but he's playing solid this year.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm not so sure you're taking him off the field just to give him some snaps in a meaningful game, you know, in the first 3 quarters. I just don't see him getting that many snaps. I just, you know, about what he has been. Just, I think he'll play a lot of special teams like he has been.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but as far as like just line him up at corner, I just don't see it until there's an injury or until if AB has that bad game, maybe that gives the coaching staff a reason to replace him and give him more, or had a bad 2 or 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But I think it's going to take something dramatic like that for him to get more snaps than he's been getting. But yeah, he'll definitely get some special team snaps.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, he got 0 snaps last week, and he wouldn't have got in the week before if Trayvon Diggs didn't go out on that drive.
Yeah, like I said, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think people, since he was a 2nd-round pick, they like, we got to get him. No, you don't. You know, you don't have to play him.
Right.
Like you don't force it. Let it come naturally. You know, if he does get 5 or 6 snaps and he's just balling the fuck out, and it's obvious that, hey, he needs to be in there more, then you just ease him in until he gets more. But like I said, AB hasn't been playing bad at all. I mean, AB's actually, I've defended AB for fucking 4 years now, and he's actually playing better than I've ever given him credit for. I've always said he was an average cornerback, where everybody else said he sucked. And I'd argue he doesn't suck, but he is average. He's actually playing even above average this year. So he's actually went above what I thought he was.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. He played almost as many special team snaps as CJ Goodwin last week. So yeah, he's really involved in special teams right now. I got to check him out. I've been paying attention. I don't know what positions he's playing, so I have to pay attention to it tomorrow to see what positions he's playing on special teams.
I haven't paid attention, but I've seen him out there running in the field. I've noticed him being out there.
I have too, but I just didn't really pay attention, like where
exactly where he's lining up at.
Yeah,
I haven't saw that. Hell, I didn't even realize Nashawn Wright. I didn't even realize he was playing special teams till he fucking touched the ball and we fucking lost the fucking punt block. You know, and I'm not blaming him. That was don't think I'm blaming him. I'm just saying, right when he jumped up and touched it, I'm like, oh shit, that's going to be their ball. I knew because I knew the rule. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, who's 25? And I was like, Nashawn Wright.
Right.
But yeah, I feel sorry for him actually.
One thing I have noticed, Luke Gifford and Nashawn Wright have been playing special teams more than Goodwin, which has really been surprising me. Goodwin's just been mostly gunner. Gunner and what do you call it? The defender position on punt team.
Maybe looked ahead of next year.
Yeah, that's true. Can't keep holding those corner spots.
Yeah. But yeah. First rounder Kevin Smith didn't start till week 11. Yep, that is true. Back in 1992 or 1991, 92. Yep, I remember that.
That's a good problem for us to have right now, that our other corners have been playing so well that we haven't had to force them on the field also.
Yeah, we haven't had to force our draft picks in there. I mean, our 2nd or 3rd round draft pick has been able to just sit there and fucking learn and fucking get minimum reps. And yeah, no, that's I think that's a fucking great thing. That helps your depth.
Yeah.
You know, So, hello, Rocket Sis. Oh, that's Miss Charles.
Hi, Sadiq. I haven't seen you in a while.
I haven't either.
How you doing, babe?
Hell, me and Rocket was just talking about her 2 nights ago.
Yeah, I said I haven't seen Sadiq on the show in a while.
We haven't seen her since the first Keepin with Jones's show was last time I seen her.
I see her on Twitter. Any show. I
used to see her on Twitter.
Huh. I hope you're doing okay, Sadiq. We haven't seen you in a while on any of the shows. So.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Views are starting to slow down, so looks like that's how I get to get out of here.
Ready for some predictions?
Oh, we're doing predictions tonight. Okay.
Yeah. We're always doing predictions. All right. Marcus, did you want to do some over-unders?
Rock emphasizing one of them syllables? Did anybody else notice that?
And our eyes even booked too. I noticed
there was like an emphasis on one of them syllables.
Yeah.
And it wasn't pre and it wasn't ishin.
It was
ishins.
Anyways, go ahead, Rika.
Bluff, did you want to do over-unders or did you just want to do scores?
I just do scores. I don't want
to
over unders right now. We pretty much hit every position, every player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go another 20 minutes with that.
Let's see.
I hadn't thought about this game a lot. It could really go either way for me. I really feel like we're gonna do a lot with our running backs, which may make us have fewer possessions than most people would think. I still think Dallas finds a way to get 27 and 27-17. 27-17.
But preseason, did you pick us to lose this game?
I did. Okay. I picked us to lose it at week 8.
Stupid Eric predicted us to tie.
And I still have concerns about this game, but it's kind of like I had us picked to win Tampa and lose to the Chargers. I feel like that loss may help kind of refocus a little bit more for this game. But if we would have beat Denver, I probably would have still kept us losing this one. And if Ridley would have played, I probably would be switching it now too. But I think we have enough to get by them this week. I don't think they'll sneak up on us. They got embarrassed last year, and that always means a lot to me when a team just gets embarrassed in that loss. But I feel like we have enough to get them.
I think, and my prediction is kind of a weird one. For a reason. Yeah. Well, because I got a funky square this week, so I'm trying to will something into existence. So I'm thinking they get at least 1, 2, 6. Yeah, I don't even know how it'll happen, but I need it to be 30-18 Dallas.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You're looking for money. She got fucking squares. She's trying to win some money.
I got a weird ass square this week, and I need that 8 in there.
2 safeties? I don't know.
That's still better than the fucking Eric's tie.
Yeah.
All right,
if they miss their extra points, but they get 2 field goals.
That's true.
Yeah, there's always a possibility to get
fingers crossed.
Oh, and everybody in the comments, let us know what your scores are also. Matt O put his up, so let us know, everybody who's still with us.
Was Charlie's ridiculous?
Hell, we got back up to 10.
I know, because Chris Davis just came in also.
I'll go with 34-23.
Okay.
Charlie doesn't want me to win any money. That's fine.
34.
Oh, no, I want you to win money. I want you to win the fucking lottery.
Forgot to buy a ticket.
I know, I did too.
Yeah, the lunatic asked the question about where is Atlanta getting pressure. They do get Dante Fowler Jr. back this week, so that'll probably help out. I don't know how much. They don't really blitz, so I don't think we're going to have – well, maybe they change it up this week, but I don't think we have a lot of issues with them confusing us much.
I think they've been blitzing a little bit more after those first 4 games. It seemed like AJ Terrell kind of found his groove. Their secondary was performing a little bit better. So their blitz has been more in these last 4 games than it was in the first 4.
You know, now that you bring it up, that's something I brought up on Wednesday. Watching them the last 4 weeks, what's changed their defense to me, they're playing AJ like a shutdown corner. Like they literally just let him play off man and just take a guy, and everybody else just kind of plays off of him. So to me, that either means whatever receiver that's got him has to do some work, or our slot guy is going to have a real good time.
I heard their defense scoring Pease. I heard him talking about it the other day. He got real smart with the media. I kind of like that guy. I watched a lot of his. Always talking about my son. I know people probably get tired of it, but when I can't work my son out on the football field when he was in high school because of all my injuries, so I had to take a fucking YouTube goddamn videos out there to show him what I want. And Dan Pease has a few of them on there showing how offensive lineman hand placement, shit like that. I used a lot of his videos to show Trey what I wanted. But yeah, I saw David Media was asking him, was they going to blitz more this week? And he basically said that people misunderstand the blitz. Like he said, people think blitzing and putting pressure on the quarterback helps the secondary. He said it helps the secondary when you get there. He said when you don't get there, you're leaving the secondary out to dry. And that's why he cut off on some of his blitzing in 3 or 4 games because they weren't getting there. He goes, and you're leaving your defensive backfield out to dry. He said, if you get there, it works. It's great. He said, but if you don't, your secondary is in worse position than it is if you fucking just play zone and don't fucking put pressure on the quarterback. He said, you kind of take the good with the bad of it.
And that's what looked like what happened because their linebackers in Atlanta, they go straight into coverage. It looks like they have 3 safeties at the line of scrimmage, and they just go straight 10-yard curl flats. That's why I think the running backs may have such a good game.
Yeah, I know they were showing on NFL matchup of that. They do a lot of robber with their safeties. Have one drop, they show something, and then he drops down as a robber, and then they have one deep safety and shit like that. So
and then the linebackers kind of cover in between.
Yep,
they do a lot of that. At least that's what I saw the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I love NFL matchup. I wish they would make it like an hour show. It's a 30-minute show, so it's real with a Cosell and that I can't never think of that other guy's name. But they do a good fucking job. It's just they have to do it real quick in a 30-minute show.
All right, guys. Haven't seen a lot of scores up here. I see we got Jack Meekers, 37-13, and Chris Davis, who just hopped in, 31-17. Sadiqa, let us get your score. What do you think?
Miss Charles. We got to see her back.
Rika, you going 30-18, right?
Yeah, I need that 8, man.
like Matt Owen said, 28 is possible too. I mean, your nerves might be shot.
Close. Yeah, my nerves will be shot, but I take it as long as I get my money. I want the Cowboys to win, and second, I want the money. So that's the.
Well, before we get out of here, one more question since we've hit pretty much everything. What do you guys think about the kicker?
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about the kicker.
We didn't talk about that,
And I said in our chat, we'll talk about the kicker with the
I'm
not
going to try to pronounce his name.
I'm not going to try to pronounce his name.
Liram.
Like I told her somebody else the other day, I just don't really give a shit about kickers. But I do like him from what little bit I've seen of him. But I just, once again, pray to little baby Jesus that we don't get in field goal situations a lot by either going forward on 4th downs, and God forbid if it comes down to the last field goal to have to win the game. But yeah, I think he'll be fine. I mean,
Liram, hope he don't miss. That's
what
the lunatic says his name is pronounced. Hope he don't miss.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to judge kickers. I can honestly tell you, I'm not no fucking kicker expert. I just don't worry too much about them. I mean, it sucks when they miss the last second field goal and lose the game for you and shit. But more times than not, I can pick out 15 plays that you fucked up on to even put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
Whether it's on defense or offense side of the ball. So I don't really worry too much about it. I think he'll be fine. Hopefully we won't need him that much. And let's be honest, every time fucking Greg the Leg goes out there, I'm shitting my pants.
That's true.
You know? So it's not like fucking we have some Tucker from Ravens and we're just like, we don't even pay attention to field goals because we know he's going to make it and then go into a back. I mean, we got Greg the Leg who every time he kicks field goals, I'm thinking, he's going to fucking miss this thing.
Yep.
You know, so it'd be about the same as that. And I don't think much is going to change for me. I'm still going to be nervous every time he kicks it.
Yeah, and the lunatic made the point I wanted to make. Cordell Patterson is their kick returner. We need to kick it deep every time.
Fucking kick it out of the back of the end zone. Go for a field goal every time on a kickoff. Don't even fucking let him return one.
None of that cute.
Don't get cute shit and kick it to the 1 yard line, hoping that you're going to get down there. Fuck all that. Just kick it deep and make them start at 25 every time. Don't get cute with the shit. And Matt Owen, that's why I love Matt Owen. Me and him agree on so much shit. Fucking.
And Bones Fossil will get cute with some shit.
Yeah, he will get cute. But yeah, I'm with Matt. I mean, I'll be like Coach Kelly, the old high school coach that never fucking punted and always did onside kicks. I mean, I'm pretty much going for it on fourth down just about every time, regardless of the yardage and regardless of where you're at on the field. Just fucking go for it. Coach Kelly, I've seen it, like I've told this story before. I've seen an interview with him on HBO. They did a little doc on him. And his thing was that he just never understood why in football you have 4 downs to get the first down. So why on that fourth down, why are you just going to voluntarily give it to the other team? So here you go. We're just going to kick it. We're going to let you have the ball. You know, especially if it's 4th and 1 and 4th and 2. I mean, I'm even going for it in 4th and 5 and 4th and 7. I'm good with it. But on 4th and 1 and 4th and 2, I'm like, you know, come on. Don't voluntarily give the ball back. Fucking go for it, you know. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Last week, fucking didn't work out too well for us. I mean, we went from, I think, like 55% percentage on fourth downs, like 25 or 27 after that game. I mean, it doesn't always work, but to me, the good outweighs the bad on it. And I'm not a momentum guy. I'm not real huge on momentum, so I don't worry about the momentum part of it. I mean, last week they just had more men in the box than we did. That they had an extra guy that we couldn't block because we didn't have enough guys in the box. And on the second one, Dak admitted he fucked up. He made a bad pass. He just fucking threw it at his feet. Again, last week was a fucking to me, that last week was just, it's a wash for me.
Yeah.
It's just like I can't imagine us having a bad game like that again. So it's not that you can't learn from it. It's not that, you know, it doesn't count. It fucking counts. We got a loss, but it's just I don't really worry about us having 2 bad games like that in a row. Offensively wise, I'm not worried about it. Defensively wise, you never know. But Dwayne Wright.
Yeah, when I started my show off last week, this past Wednesday, I started off with the clip from the replacements.
Yeah, I was watching
the meeting.
Yeah, I saw it.
The quicksand. The whole time I watched the game, that just kept popping up in my head. Like you kept make one bad play, then another one, then you're in over your head.
Yeah, I dropped in. I watched like the first 10 minutes of it. I gave you a like, gave you a view, and I had to run. I was busy, but I didn't get in the chat because once I get in the chat, then I'm going to put off what I need to do because I'm going to start talking and making jokes and bullshitting with people. So I went in and checked it out and got off. But yeah, I saw the quicksand thing. That was pretty cool. What movie is that from?
The Replacements.
Keanu, it is.
Keanu Reeves, the quarterback.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in years.
Yeah.
We are eating bird early, Stephen White says. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm a Cowboy fan, so I'm always nervous. You know, before every game, I don't give a shit who we're playing. I'm always going to be nervous, but I think we got this. I think we'll do good. Like I said on my video, the previous 7 games show me who we were. This one game didn't change that. I for some reason it did with some fans, and some fans are telling me they need another 4 or 5 games for them to, you know, see who we are. And I'm like, yeah, dude,
that I don't need another 4 or 5 games. That game did nothing to hurt what I thought. You know, the Buccaneers game, even with the L, showed me who we were. Right. San Diego, God damn it, there I go again. The Chargers game showed me who we were. The 3 mollywoppings we gave the bad team showed me. Yep. Going into New England showed me. Going into Minnesota with the backup quarterback showed me. And then one fucking clusterfuck of a game ain't going to make me change my opinion on what this team is. This team, it's a good team. It's one of the top 5 teams in the NFL. That's my opinion. You can put them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care, but they belong in the top 5.
Yeah, we're not going to have 7 drops on 30.
And one team that nobody's talking about that's catching my eye is the fucking Titans.
Titans, yeah.
That for some reason the past 3 weeks, I've seen them winning. But the other day when I was looking at the standings, just bored, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, these motherfuckers are the number 1 seed right now in the fucking AFC. And I'm like, maybe I need to start paying, not their AFC, so I'm not worried about it. I'm talking about NFL in general. I might start needing to pay more attention to them because for some reason I just kind of washed them out, not because of Derrick Henry, because I am about running backs.
Yeah,
that didn't even faze me. Even before that, I just never really kind of thought about them. It was always Buffalo. Always thought KC was going to bounce back. Cincinnati kind of got my eye there for a little while, but Tennessee's got my eye now. They caught my eye pretty good.
They're doing it with defense too.
Yeah, their defense is because earlier their defense sucked, and their defense has turned it around and kind of caught on the past 4 or 5 games and been playing very well. Mike White came from Tennessee. He wants to run. We can't let him do that.
Arthur Smith. I think he means Arthur Smith.
That's Atlanta's head coach Arthur Smith. Yeah, he came. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he wants to run necessarily just because he came from Tennessee. I think Tennessee, he was more of a run type person. 1, because he had Derrick Henry, and 2, he has a defensive head coach that wants to run the ball and play defense. And that's why I've always said about offensive coordinators, you can't always judge them because sometimes their head coach is controlling that. Like Pete Carroll is never going to hire a pass happy fucking offensive coordinator. It's just not going to happen. Bill Parcells, like Sean Payton. In 2005, did you see the Cowboys offense look anything like it did when he went to fucking the Saints in 2006? No, because Parcells was not going to let him run that kind of shit underneath him. So head coach still controls how the game is called, not the plays, but how it's called run pass situations.
Definitely true.
MG will have at least 2 TDs. I agree with that. I think Gallup's going to have a good game. That's why I said earlier, even with me thinking that he might not get as many snaps as some people think, I still think he's going to. And Gallup, Dak likes Gallup, and I think Dak is going to try to get him into the game. And plus he fucking runs a bunch of fucking 9 routes.
So, I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's our deep guy. Like I said, I love Wilson, but Gallup just brings a whole nother dimension to this offense that Wilson can't bring to this offense. Gallup will take the top off of it. He's that deep threat that people have to pay attention to, which opens up everything underneath for Lamb on them crossing routes and shit. So, yeah, no, I look for it to be a good game. I love noon games. I know a lot of fans hate noon games. I fucking absolutely love noon games. If it was up to me, we'd play 17 noon games. I love them. When I was younger, I did because I used to go out and get shit-faced drunk every Saturday night and have to fucking wake up early. But now that I'm old, I fucking haven't drank really in 3 years. I like noon games. Chris Davis. That's one of your guys, right, Marcus? Isn't he always on your – Chris Davis. Isn't he always on your chat?
I don't – I may have seen his name once or twice, but
I've seen his name somewhere before. 5 to 9, boys. We might open the game up with a deep ball. Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah,
you're right.
Sadiq says no. I think he means re-sign, not resign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always get that word mixed up. Ain't one hyphenated or some bullshit? I fucking suck. I suck at the English language, so as y'all can tell when I talk, you would think it wasn't my first fucking language, but it is. Okay. Well, guys, this has been a great show.
It has been. Hey guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like button and give us a share. Every time you share a show from Dallas Cowboys Uncensored during the month of November, tag me on Twitter at Chains Moving or on Facebook, Rika Moves the Chains, and you will be entered to win a t-shirt of your choice from twistedgorilla.com. And those prizes are compliments of our guide to lunatic. So don't forget to hit that share button.
Yes, definitely. And like I said, thanks, Stephen White, the lunatic, Miss Charles. I'm glad you're back. I don't know where you've been. Come back. Rika has a show every Tuesday. Come back to that one.
We're here every Tuesday, Charley and I, usually with a guest at 7 Central Time.
And then Dwayne Wright, thank you. Fucking I think he's already Matt Owens, especially Matt.
Yeah.
Always love having Matt in.
Tavis Banks was heavy in the comments tonight.
Yeah,
DJ
Banks.
Yes.
Yep.
Stephen White, thanks for coming in again. Rushes are Rudy.
Meeker, he dropped in. Thank you.
Todd Corey came in early also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank all y'all. Like Mark says all the time, y'all make the show, especially with all the questions, because we can't think about everything, and sometimes we have topics, and y'all bring up more interesting topics, so we'll get off our topics and talk about your topics. Like I said, we're not set in this amount of topics we're going to talk about.
If I had to sit and preach for an hour, I couldn't do this.
Dude, I'm telling you, my 15-minute fucking shows is hard. And the only reason I can do it because it's rants. You know what I'm saying? It's just some fucking topic that pissing me off. So I go on video and rant for 15 minutes. That's easy because I'm good at that. But fucking to have to do this by myself for a long time, it would be hard for me to do. Without nobody in the chat. I'm talking about just recording and doing it on my own with no chat involved.
But some people have chats and still just rant for an hour and don't even acknowledge the chats. I couldn't do that. I would kill myself if I did that.
Yeah, when me and Eric did it, we sucked, but not because we was trying to suck, not because we didn't want to. We just kind of because we was new at it. So we'd be talking and we just kind of forget there's a whole nother fucking conversation going on here on the right of us. And then we're like, oh shit. And we start fucking trying to click it and get everybody involved. But yeah, I've gotten better at it as time goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm a chat guy though. I could stop doing this tomorrow and go back to going in chats and be perfectly fine. So I'm always used to looking at chats.
Been listening here, just haven't commented until now. All right, cool. Well, always comment, man. Fucking no matter what, just give us a shout. Fucking tell us what you think.
Hey, there's Jeffrey Dunnigan.
Hey, Jeffrey. Fucking Jeffrey. But yeah, it's been fucking pretty good.
Yeah.
We kept the fucking views pretty decent throughout the whole show. Hell, we still we went down to fucking earlier. I thought, it's time to quit. Hell, they went back up.
Yep. I don't have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, I'm about to say
we touched every position, almost every player.
Yeah, unless there's something we didn't think about, y'all thought about. Fucking, there you go. Love my sister rocking that Bluff.
Yeah, I really don't have anything.
All right, guys. Well, we will call it a night. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell so you can get notified every time we come on here. If Bluff's on, it's a good show. If it's me and Charley, it's usually some nonsense. But, hey, it's a good time no matter what.
Yeah, every Tuesday. And every Saturday.
Every Tuesday, I'm on at 7 o'clock Central Time.
And I haven't talked to Bluff about it. Real quick, if we win, you want to go live tomorrow?
Honestly, I don't think I'd be able to watch the game live tomorrow.
Okay. If we win, I'm probably going to go live. So y'all stick around. If Bluff wants to drop in if he has time. And if Rika usually don't go live with us because it's late. She has to go to sleep, but she might go live tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's early. Yeah, we can go live if we
You got to work overtime tomorrow, though, darling? No. I just called you darling in front of the video. I shouldn't have done that.
That's okay. No, I'm not gonna work tomorrow.
What are you guys? Are you guys together? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. Rumors are flying.
Right.
Charley says fuck one time. There you go. You should have been here earlier. You would have got a lot of them.
Yeah, you missed it, Jeff.
But yeah, no. If we win, I can't go live if we lose. It's not I'm a bad sport. I just don't want to get in front of the camera after we lose. But if we win, me and Rika will probably go live. Can't promise you, but I think we would.
Yeah, I won't be able to watch after halftime, but I'll definitely come on and ask some questions about what I missed.
And once again, everybody in the chat, you are always welcome to come in live with us. All you got to do is let us know, and we'll send you a link. This ain't a professional show. We don't care if y'all join. Everybody's welcome.
Right.
So just like Looney Tech. Hell, he stayed the whole show pretty much with us. So, and we love that dude. So yeah.
Yep.
Join if you're here.
All right, guys, that'll wrap.
Rika, don't tell Charley about my thing with CD Lamb. Girl, you get me in trouble.
What did she say? She is the future Mrs.
Well, I'm the future Mrs. Prescott. So I mean, it's okay. Dak doesn't know that yet, but he will. I have no problem with man crushes. So I have no problem with Rika having one. All right, y'all be good before I say something stupid.
You guys have a good night.
All right,
All right.
Later, y'all.
Night, everybody.